All right. I know the drill. Where you from? Where you at? What are you doing? Tonight is all about confidence levels. There are several stories out there, different outcomes, different things that can happen. And what we're going to be doing tonight is gauging the confidence level of the community at large as far as what might happen. We know that Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury is official for December 18th. It's set to go down. There's been a lot of talk about it. And what I want to know is how confident are people that Tommy Fury can be the one to end the circus? I want to get real answers from different people, different opinions. I want to know how confident you guys out there are, given how Tommy Fury has been looking. I want to know how confident you guys are that he can put an end to all of this, because Tommy Fury, whilst being a legitimate boxer, he's not exactly a very good legitimate boxer, though at the same time, we can say that in the beginning stages of a fighter's career, they don't face very many good legitimate boxers. So can you really count that against Jake Paul? There's a lot going on. Kenichi Ogawa of Japan is going to be fighting for the IBF title again. That is the same Kenichi Ogawa that challenged Tevin Farmer for what was then the vacant IBF title. Kenichi Ogawa tested positive for a banned substance after the fight. The decision was overturned. Tevin Farmer got to fight against Billy Dibb for the IBF title, the still vacant IBF title, and he won the title. He defended it a few times, then lost it to Jojo Diaz. And we know what happened. We know that it came down to Rakhimov and Jojo Diaz. They fought, and I thought that it would be Rakhimov fighting for the title again. I don't know what happened to Rakhimov. I don't know why he's not fighting for the title. It's gonna be Kenichi Ogawa again. And let me look up this guy, because I don't know this guy. I don't know where they found this guy. I don't know the guy. It's Kenichi Ogawa versus Azinga Fuzili. Don't know Azinga Fuzili. Never seen him fight. He's I believe he's from Zimbabwe. I believe that's the flag I'm looking at, but I'm not sure. And Kenichi Ogawa is just in with the right people. Shout out to Georgia. I appreciate that. What the hell, Rolly? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that. That's another reason why I decided to go live. I think that some things are better covered in a conversation than me just giving you my thoughts on it in a video that I prepare. What I'm going to say in reference to the Rolly situation is that is not a situation that you can treat lightly on either side of the coin. That girl could be telling the truth, or that could be a woman scorned being vindictive. Either is possible. Thus, no one should jump to conclusions and cast judgment until the people go through the proper channels to substantiate these allegations, because right now they're just allegations. It's very easy to get into a mob mentality and let your emotions take over. But the truth of it is, we don't know if this woman or these women are lying. We don't know if they're telling the truth. I am in not any hurry to defend Rolly. I don't put it past him. But at the same time, I'm not going to outright accuse him, because I don't have all the facts. And until all the facts are made available to the people that can do something about this, no one should rush to judgment. No one should jump to conclusions. If something happened, hopefully those women or that woman, because I don't even know how many it really is, if something happened, hopefully they go to the authorities and substantiate their allegations. But at this time, I cannot castigate him for something you're saying he did, because you're not guilty until proven innocent. You're innocent until proven guilty. That's the way it works. The clappening. Context matters. Don't get your pitch. Exactly. Thank you, the clappening. Exactly. Context matters. I'm not saying that I don't believe her. I'm not saying that I do believe her. I'm saying that it sets a very dangerous precedence when you jump to conclusions without all the facts being brought forward. You can just accuse anyone. And I say this because I actually worked with a guy who he was accused of something like that, and the cops came in and actually got him on the job, only so that 2 weeks later that same girl could drop those same charges, saying that she was just trying to spite him. A woman scorned. Yes, that happens. So I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't believe this woman or these women. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I don't believe them. I could definitely kind of see, because he's kind of weird. Roly talks weird, acts a little bit weird. Though at the same time, acting weird, sounding weird does not make you a deviant or a sexual predator. Like, we don't know. And the most honest thing and the best thing you can do is say, we don't know. All the facts have to be brought forward before anybody jumps to a conclusion and gets the pitchforks out. We don't know. This is a guy who's in the public. He is someone who is susceptible to something like this happening, because he's in the public. In the same token that there are people that have money, that are privileged, that they do wild stuff, right? Like what they're saying he did. At the same time, there are people that seek to take advantage of people that are in the public eye. Sometimes it's like a shakedown. They know that if they make certain allegations publicly, they can shake down the person to settle and make the allegations go away. Your guess is as good as mine as far as what happened. But nobody should be jumping to conclusions right now. Not till any evidence, if there is evidence, not unless that can be presented. I'm skeptical of a lot of those cases. Talk about it, JD. Talk about it. Tank is a legit woman beater, and nothing said or done about. Look, I thought that they were going to get Tank for the DUI, Emma. I don't know what happened to that case. That he was driving in a luxury SUV. I believe it was a luxury SUV, and he slammed into a car that had a group of people in it, and they did sustain injuries. I don't know what happened to that case. It's like it just went away. They said that that guy was facing. I remember that news story. They said that he could be facing a lot of jail time because of that. And I don't know what happened. I can only assume that because we haven't heard anything, maybe they settled out of court. I don't like, I mean, but it's just settling out of court. There was more than one person involved in the accident. So it's like, well, if he settled out of court, they must have come out of a lot of goddamn money to make it go away. Appreciate that, Gary, man. All the way from Australia. Innocent until proven guilty. This ain't yeah, exactly, Sophia. Exactly. Like, I'm not gonna say that I don't believe these women or this woman. I'm not gonna say that I don't believe them. I'm gonna say that there's due process for a reason. And if you're trying to get this guy brought to justice, there's got to be due process. I cannot sit here and jump to conclusions just based on what you're saying. There's always two sides to a story. And that's not saying, oh, you're lying. No, no, no. It's just there's a process, and there is a process for a reason. Before we go trying to castigate someone, or before we demand that someone's life be turned upside down, someone who may be innocent, maybe they're not. Let's get the evidence. Let's get the facts out first. That's all I'm saying. Is Harvey Weinstein scrapped? Oh man, I never made up my mind about how I felt when it came to Weinstein, because I could see that happening. Like, I could see a person with that much power exploiting it for young actresses who want to get somewhere. And I could just see that happening. Quid quo pro. I believe that's what it's called. That's a form of it, isn't it? And I could see that happening, especially in Hollywood of all places. Like, you want to get in with the right people, make the right friends. God might ask for a little slice of pussy, and that's just like, I ain't trying to sugarcoat this shit for nobody, but like, yeah, motherfucker might ask for a little slice of pussy, little slice, and you know what I mean? Stuff like that happens. And I've seen different people say different things. I really wish I could get a female perspective on here for this, because I know that their insights, I'm not gonna have the insights that they have when it comes to that type of stuff. But that's what it sounded like that Harvey Weinstein, that he took advantage of a lot of young actresses that wanted to get roles, and they just were afraid that if they rejected his advances, they would be blackballed and prevented from working and things like that. And that's a conversation where you have to have an expanded conversation to get all the angles of it, because at the same time, consensual is consensual. So regardless of what you thought and regardless of what you might have felt, if he wanted a slice of pussy and you consensually gave it to him, you have to constitute the coercion part. You kind of do, like, okay, well, where did, if there was a law broken, where was the law broken? Because asking for a slice of pussy ain't breaking the law. I don't think. It's so it gets so, and it's just to have a conversation, not to castigate, not to judge, not to shake your fist at the sky, but to just hear those different ideas from people that, like, what did he do, and where did he cross the line? Because you know what they say about Hollywood, everybody's fucking everybody in Hollywood. Where does it become, I guess, morally ambiguous for a movie producer or someone with a lot of power to ask for a slice of pussy? Where does that line get drawn to where I guess he shouldn't be trying to fuck? I don't know. You know what I mean? And the other thing is that men with power, they can be vulgar with that power because they know that they have the power to close doors for certain people, keep those doors closed, and that might make someone feel like they're under duress. Though, is that feeling of being under duress and being coerced, is that feeling, does that actually constitute a crime? This is a lot of ways to take that shit, man. It's a lot of ways to take that shit. Oh, that's my son in the background being an irritation. Yeah, and Hollywood is sick, Chris. You right about that too. Like, they do a lot of freak shit over there. Like, they do a lot of shit that we probably wouldn't even do in New York, because you got people that got so much money. They'll probably pay somebody to fuck their wife so they can watch that shit. They wild over there. Like, they just do a lot of wild shit over there. So many people get blackballed for speaking. Exactly, Emma. And that's what I mean. That if those women felt that if they don't go along with it, they may be blackballed and prevented from working, that is a form of duress. That is a form of coercion, because there are consequences that they have no control over if they don't go along. So at what point does it become a crime? Because that line is not immediately clear to everyone. And I do think that that's a conversation that needs to be had. This really isn't this isn't necessarily a conversation to have on a boxing channel, but I just think in general, as a society, men and women need to have that conversation. At what point, especially in that kind of a setting, does, looking for a slice of pussy become something that's unethical or morally ambiguous? Because, I mean, y'all wants pussy. Be honest with each other, right? Uh, 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 I was Goody Toby Pull Check. They selling women like candy to rich freaks. They are the skin trafficking, sex trafficking. I believe is that a it's on the rise, or it's at an all time. I saw some crazy statistic, though. I never qualify those statistics I see randomly online, because I don't know who conducted the research, and unless I do, I can't treat it as gospel. But I know that I hear it. I hear about it a lot. I see it a lot. I see it's being talked about a lot, and I can only assume that. Well, I mean, if they're talking about it this much, there's actually something to it. I don't like jumping to conclusions. That's why you hear me say maybe, allegedly, because I don't like jumping to conclusions. I don't know what the facts are, so I'm in no position to tell you that this is this. When it comes to the Rolly situation, it creates a very, very uncomfortable situation for Stefan Espinoza, for Showtime, because I don't see that this has gained a lot of traction just yet. It's only closely knit boxing circles that even know who Rolly Romero is. That only we know who he is, right? He's not the equivalent of a player on the NFL. You know, is a very small group of people know who he is. So this hasn't gained the traction that it may gain in 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. And it creates a very awkward situation for Stefan Espinoza. creates a very awkward situation for Showtime. Though I will say, if none of these women are pursuing charges or are going to go through due process, if they're not, then don't expect the card to get canceled. Don't expect Rolly to get pulled. Not if they're gonna, if they're not gonna do anything. In other words, then nothing is gonna happen. And I don't know what, if anything, they're doing outside of bringing attention to it with social media. But outside of social media, are you and the other girls gonna go pursue charges? Because if you're not, then it's not gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna go anywhere. He has the look of somebody who will take it by force. And look, I understand where you coming from, because I thought that looking at him, like, yeah, he looked like one of them cats that you can't leave a girl alone with him. But that's wrong. And it's wrong of me to jump to that conclusion, even though, like, like, just shooting the shit. If I was shooting the shit with you, Shaka, right? And I was like, yo, he do look tight, like like I wouldn't put it past him, feel me? Like, if we was just shooting the shit. But speaking openly and publicly, it is very dangerous to adopt that mentality to where we let our opinions, in the absence of evidence, we let our opinions guide how we feel about a situation when we need evidence. This is no laughing matter. It's not something that you just gloss over. No, these are serious allegations, very serious, right? So you need serious evidence. You need serious proof before you turn someone's life upside down, because that's what could happen. Lennox. Did I see Lennox? I thought I saw Lennox. There you go. And I mean, like I said, you can't assume that. Yeah, that's what I mean, bro. That, like, you can't, like, you could say that in your own mind. Yeah, I can see that motherfucker doing some wild shit like that. You could say that, right? Because your own mind is your own mind. The dangerous part is that when you do that, you start selling it to yourself. You selling it to yourself if you do that. Like, yeah, I could see that dirty motherfucker doing that. And fuck around, a motherfucker didn't even do that. But you selling it to yourself with your imagination. So it's like you need due process, and you need for people to go through the proper channels. Dillian White versus Wilder. If Fury vacates the belt, Wilder being the mandatory thoughts. It's perfect. It's the perfect situation. It's the ideal situation. I don't want to hear no more shit about how Dillian White is such a sucky, terrible fucking boxer, and every time somebody's supposed to fight him, they got a problem. I don't want, like, like, I advocate for the fights. You understand? I'm advocating for the fight. It's not about, oh yeah, I think Dillian White would beat Tyson Fury, or I think Dillian White would beat Deontay. It's not. It's the fight. I'm advocating for the fight, because you're not going to tell me that Dillian White versus Deontay Wilder is not a big fight. Yes, that would be a commercially successful fight, whether it's here in America or over there in the United Kingdom. The Brits would fly over for that fight. I guarantee they would fly over for that fight. All them dudes in Brixton that want to beat the shit out of somebody and stab somebody, they'll fly over here for that goddamn fight. That's a commercially successful fight if you can get it over the line. And that's all I'm advocating for. I'm advocating for the fights. Maybe Wilder knocks him out. Maybe he knocks out Wilder. I just want to see the fight. Watch Fury vacate. Well, I wanna get into that. I'm gonna post the link in the description box. Talk about this boxing's the description box. I'm gonna post the link right here, and I'm only gonna let a few guys on at a time, because I let like 5 or 6 guys on at a time the other night, and it was just a mess. It's too many people trying to talk at the same time, cutting each other off. That's one of my pet peeves. So I'm only gonna let a few guys on at a time. AJ was good. What do you think about? What do you think about that? First, let's start with the Rolly stuff. Let's start with the stuff. What are your thoughts without, because I'm not expecting you to jump to conclusions. I'm not going to jump to conclusions. Just what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have one. I mean, it's still too premature. I mean, I mean, my mind is like, even though he looks like he could be a little out there. Yeah, I'm not going to jump to conclusions just yet. I mean, we need to wait till week two, see what happens. Just for more information to come out. Like you said, innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
And so I mean, so I'm not going to jump to conclusions just yet. It could be just some broad scorning them. You know what I mean? Testy, probably convinced others to do. Who knows? I mean, just because just a woman that shit is fucked up, man. Women could be really messed up when it comes to stuff like that.
Women can be very vindictive with that, but like this is a grievous crime that that this kid is being alleged of, and
Yeah.
he's a young man. Rolly, he kind of looks retarded. Let's keep it a buck, but
Yeah,
to be
Chris,
really,
Chris, I know where you going with it, but because that shit could change your whole life, right?
yeah,
Look,
but hear me out.
look
Hear
at
me out. I understand what you're saying. You and I are on the same page. You are on the same page. And me being a paralegal in New York, man, when it comes down to stuff like this, I don't play with stuff like this because I have a little sister. I have people in my family that I love, and I would never want that to happen to them. And also, ultimately, though, this is such a and this is such a very serious thing. This can ruin this man's life forever. Like literally. Remember, boxing friends, remember what Tony Ayala Jr. went through when he did that to that woman. So this is really very serious things. This is a grievous and egregious crime that this guy is being alleged of. And
I got
aspersions
Biabuchi.
and
You remember I got
yeah,
Biabuchi?
yeah,
That's another
yeah,
example
yeah.
too.
Aspersions and prejudice is not going to work here. This has to be clear, concrete evidence with beyond a reasonable doubt here. And I hope this isn't true, and I hope it's not because this sounds crazy. This sounds out of left field. And
Well,
like
Because you got
look,
to admit the
it's
timing of
not.
this is. I'm sorry.
Nah,
Go ahead.
I would say, listen, I don't have any thoughts about. At least I don't think it's suspicious the timing because
Hmm.
for all we know, right? Let's say he did something to those girls. Let's go there. It's got to bother those girls to see this guy in the public. If let's say that he did something to them, right?
but why
Imagine.
now,
Right.
bro? Like not even on some to cut you
Chris. I'm
off,
trying to
bro.
get
But
Chris. I'm trying to get to that.
Let him get
oh,
to
I got you.
If somebody did something to you, right? Like if you killed my cat, don't let's take it out of the realm of sex crimes. If you killed my cat and then I see you on my TV all the time, I'm gonna be pissed off at that. Feel me? If you broke my fence, I'm gonna be like, man, that's that cocksucking motherfucker that broke my fence. I'm gonna get pissed every time I see you on TV,
Niggas,
right?
niggas get their fence broken every day. Niggas get their fucking
Nah,
cat
but
killed every day, B.
that don't
You
mean
tough,
motherfuckers
B.
not go. That don't mean motherfuckers ain't good. He doing the
You
whole
tough,
pay
B.
to he doing the pay.
But at
Nah,
the
but
end,
we can't play with that though. Be like we can't like if you saying that this dude is a predator, right? And he's a deviant and he did something to these girls. You know what? Maybe seeing his ass on Showtime all over social media, maybe that bothered them. The only thing that I found, I guess, funny, right, is I read through what the girl said. The girl says she don't know shit about boxing, like she don't know nothing about no boxing world, right? So I'm like, well, outside of Showtime trying to sell his fight, then you know what I mean? Where you seen this motherfucker in? Cause yeah, like where would you? And if that's
he's kind of recognizable because this guy's been on Showtime a couple of times. So you could have done this before the Yijit fight. You could have done this before the Marinas fight. You could have done this a while because this guy's gaining in notoriety. And I know this Instagram blue check shit don't really mean anything, but to be quite honest with you, he's a public figure. So
yeah, but I mean, it's like, look, like I'm not, and once again, I'm not assuming because I literally don't know, and that's how I'm in the middle. I'm only in the middle right now. Like, bro, I don't know what the fuck he did or didn't do. I just know she's saying he did some shit. I don't know that he did some shit. It could be anything, right? But he's not the he. I guess the reason that I feel like you got to be careful with it is he not the type of cat. He not a football player. Feel me? He's not a basketball player. He's not really a high profile guy. So I kind of get the sense that if somebody's saying that, it's you not the kind of
There's some
athlete.
validity.
Yeah, in other words, that's how I feel. It like, yo, it's not like he's a fucking, like if he's an NFL guy, because they go after them NFL guys, man. It's chicks out there, they go after them guys, man, and they go after them NBA guys too. But Rolly, like, it's like I don't want to say nothing bad and just be with the shits, but it's like, yo, he is a goofy looking motherfucker. Like, he do look like it's like, yo, don't leave your sister around that dude. That dude is goofy looking. He like
the type of dude who used to come up in your house and you'd be like, hey, honey, leave your door open. Just keep your eye on that dude. So
yeah, like,
the fucked up thing is he's a Libra too, so he's making us look fucking terrible. So throw him the fuck away.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if he like, cause once again, I'm not trying to fan the flame, but I'm like, yo, I heard the dude talking all of that, and I just be looking at him, right? And I'm not gonna say him, but he reminds me of dudes that I've seen before, or that I had to like deal with before. That it's like, yo, that dude is wild. Like, that dude is wild hot. B, like, you wild hot. Like, chill out. B, like, don't leave nobody around this cat, because he a fucking weirdo. He remind me of them dudes. I'm not saying he is like them dudes. I just know he remind me of, like, yo, don't, you know what I mean? Like, this dude is a weirdo. Be like that dude can't get no burn. Like, yo, the shit that they saying, right? And I'm not trying to be fucked up, but the shit they saying, like, yo, he kind of like, he was forcing bitches to put his dick in their hand. It's like, yo, why it don't seem like why it seem like that's some shit he would do? I can't let my why it seem like that? Because he won't.
Yo, put it in your head, bitch.
Yo, why it seem like he would? And I'm like, yo, this the same cat. Look, you was in the West Coast not but a few days ago with a fur. Like, bro, you not regular. Like, why the fuck you wearing a fur? But then I remember. Then I remember. Motherfucking Javante was out there with the Ash Ketchum suit. Like, he was dead ass outside with a Ketchum. Like, gotta catch them all.
But you gotta remember with both of them, they don't enunciate their words well, and they're both inarticulate. So at the end of the day, like, that leads to one thing.
Chris,
you gotta keep it real though. Javante, like, I'm gonna say this, right? I dig it, but Javante issue is different. He got an anger issue because we seen what he did to his baby mom. Like, that's on camera, so we don't gotta.
That pissed me off. That pissed me off when I saw that shit. That was some bullshit, man.
Yeah, like,
you should be acting like that in public, man. You don't do that to your lady in public. You don't put hands on your woman like that.
Yeah, like regardless of what's going on, like, you don't do that.
That's a no-no. That's a no-no.
That's a big no-no.
South London, what do you think about that shit, man?
Yeah, guys shouldn't be touching women like that. But at the end of the day, right now it's allegations. Like, we don't really know what happened. The only thing I'll say is I'm not sure if he's on the verge of getting his biggest bag, and maybe that's why they're capitalizing now. So I don't know really, but hopefully everything will come to light soon, and then we can proper go into it.
Do you think it was normal of him to wear a fur with no shirt on the West Coast when it's hot as shit over there? What does that tell you about Rolly Romero?
He's stupid.
Yeah, that just tells me it's a bit weird. It's because we got guys like that do it in London, where it'll be the hottest day of the year, and they're wearing like a fur coat with a flipping woolly hat and all sorts, gloves, everything, and you just think, did these guys know what time of the year it is?
They're anemic? You think they're anemic? Low iron?
But is that not jumping to conclusions as well, to like, yo, look, motherfucker trying to be fashion forward, he's suffering for the fashion because he's trying to look fresh and fly. Does that equate to being a deviant, or is that just?
Y'all know what I said. You know what I said when he came out wearing that shit. It's like, what the hell is he trying to be? A runway model or a porn star?
Bro, he looked like Craven. He looked like Craven the Hunter from Spider-Man. That's what he looked like to me.
He looked like a homo Craven.
Yeah, like he look.
Yo, stop the stream now. Stop it now.
Nah,
Let's
for real,
all
he ain't look
this
like.
group.
Stop it!
Come on,
Stop it!
bro.
He ain't look like him. He didn't look like him. He looked like Craven the Hunter, yo.
Now put the photo up. Put the photo up. Put the photo up. Put the photo
Wait,
up. I wanna see
who
it.
got the photo? I don't
You-
even got the shit. Let me
Bro,
see.
you
Let me see
find
if I
one?
can get the photo. Let me see if I can. And yo, what kind of sneakers was those that he had though?
I don't know what the hell those was, bro.
Why
them
we
shits-
flaming him up like this? Like, we
Nah, cause
really
I've been
flaming-
nah real shit. I've been like just aside from everything that's going on, I've been wanted to flame him because I'm like, yo, what kind of sneakers are those? Be like them shits look fucked up. Like what is those?
yo, random tangent. Yo, Andrade is a funny nigga, B. Like when he
Yeah,
was
he
talking
is.
about the uppercuts to the moon, nigga. Like I said, uppercuts to that nigga head to the moon. I said, yo, this nigga's a fool, bro.
Nah, the
This
funny
nigga's a
shit.
fool.
The funny shit was when I asked him about the motherfucking MMA shit, and he's like, "Hell, motherfucking no."
Hell no.
He answer. Hell, motherfucking no.
Ray, who else can you
But he's
interview
kinda-
besides
he's kinda
Andre? Can you
awkward,
interview anybody else? You
I
think
mean,
you can
I
interview
got-
interviews?
I mean, look, y'all know that I'm not an interview guy. That's
Yeah.
not really my thing. But
You're really good at
I'm
it though.
Because you hate all of us.
no, it's not because of that. It's because the guys already have a platform. The only reason I ever even started doing interviews was for those that did not have a platform that was covering them. That was the only reason I did that.
Got you.
And like I might do some more. Like I know that I got one more that I'm gonna do, at least one more that I'm gonna do on Monday, and I'll probably get back to it. You understand me? But
You
it's
got a
like
knack for
guys.
it though. You got a knack for it though. I'll tell you that.
I mean, listen,
Javante
man.
Davis and Rolly looking like Ash and Eve. Good God.
I'm gonna just like I'm gonna say that it's just that things are so different now. This is a subject that was broached several times here on the channel, that being a member of the media now or anything along those lines, it is different because it's a lot of freelancers that do it. So you don't always get to ask the kind of questions that you really want to ask. You don't, because you got to play the game, and I don't want to play the game.
Like,
That's why I don't. That's why I normally don't do it, because I don't want to play the game. I'm gonna think what I'm gonna think, what I'm gonna think based on the information that's out there. Because you're more likely, and I. That's just me being me, an old Capricorn. I'm suspicious of everyone
Julius
and
is from New
everything.
York. Translation. Julius is from New York.
Nah, they ain't because I'm from New York. Fuck New York. It's because motherfuckers lie a lot. I don't.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Don't say fuck New York.
And motherfuckers lie too much, B. And I don't be believing shit. Like I don't believe shit.
shit, I lie every week.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Me too.
and I'm keeping it a bean. Like, nah, motherfuckers lie a lot. So motherfucker might tell you some shit, but that don't mean they ain't lying. Hey, they still lying.
But you know what ain't a lie though? His sister is an absolute spice.
Who?
I'm telling you now.
Who?
Andrade.
Yeah.
Andrade.
Word?
Oh, you gotta say you got a sister that's a hot.
His sister is a spice, man. I'm telling you now.
Bro, we not
Is she
gonna be
Jane
saying-
Jagel? Is she
My
Jane
guy,
Jagel looking?
my guy, we are not. What we not going to do. What we not going to do is sit here talking about his sister. So the next time I interview him, God forbid,
He can uppercut
bring
the
that-
shit out of us. and beat the fuck out of
exactly.
me.
B.
No, I'm not doing that.
Like,
Fuck
nah,
that.
I ain't touching that. I don't want Andre paying a visit to my house. Want to whoop my ass? Hell no.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to get Brian Rose.
I'm not trying to get uppercutted to the moon.
Yeah,
If you see if you see the video I see, if you see the video I see, you know what I'm on about. On YouTube, they got a video on YouTube.
Bro, I'm not looking up. Like, I'll look up the Gale sister because I'm never going to interview James. So James ain't going to do nothing to me. James is in Marbella living his best life. He not worried about me. He don't know me. I don't know him. But because I've actually spoken to who he talking about, I ain't even going to do that because I don't want to get in no problems, B. I want no problems, B. I want everything to be all right. So I would not do that.
Because you don't want to catch a right hook to the head like Brian Rose did.
That's real rap. Javante Davis and Rolly looking like Ash and Eat. Yo, I'm telling you, Craven 100. Yo, look at him. Why would you wear that? It's man high.
You know, I would say this. Tank. I lost it when Tank said, but what is it when a fur coat on 80 degrees? DJ Paul, man. Big ass shit. This is a clown, man.
Nah, because he's wilding. B, that shit look mad warm. He's wailing like, bro.
I swear,
you really want that?
you know what's capturing my attention in this photo? Leonard's nose. I swear that dude could sniff a mountain of coke with one sniff. He got a big ass fucking nose.
Bro, his nose was made for sniffing. That's just
His
what
nose
I
was
do.
made for Colombia, dog. His nose was made
Bro.
for Colombia, bro.
Crime McGruff, he'll sniff out the coke. Why he really wore that though? And I ain't even talking about Rolly, bro. You know what I want to know? When Javante Davis picked that outfit that day, was he trying to look like Ash? Because it's like, bro, you had to do that on purpose.
Oh, he was a fly
black
nigga
Ash
that day. He
Ketchum.
thought he
He
was
Black
fucking
Ash.
everything up with that.
But
He
that
thought he was fucking the world up with that.
But that's what I mean. Like, I gotta go. I'm gonna go to battle. Battle. Keep it real. Do you think when Ash picked out that outfit, when Ash picked out that, I'm fucked up.
What is this? Pokemon? Pokemon?
Battle. When he picked out that outfit, do you believe it was his intention to look like Ash Ketchum?
At least Michael Vander Page made it look better when he need that dude in the face.
My God.
You know, he trying to do. He trying to be Dirty D from Pootie Tang with that coat. I'm telling you, bro, that coat like that, all he got to do is roll around the mud a little bit.
Listen, I ain't even talking about, bro. I'm talking about like, yo, Davis, like, like that can't be a mistake, bro. The trucker cap,
This nigga is
the white tee. Not because that can't be a mistake, my guy. Like, ain't no way you left the house and you didn't know that you look like Ash Ketchum. Ain't no way, bro.
Hold up, ring. Wait. Who is that standing behind Javante right there?
That's
Calvin Ford.
Calvin Ford. That's Calvin Ford, his trainer.
Why he look like Flavor? Why he look like Flavor Flav?
Oh man,
Don't he look like Flavor Flav?
No, he really do look like Flavor Flav, bro.
God damn, man.
That's real shit.
Everyone
That's what Flavor look like. That's his cousin, bro.
Don't believe the hype, bro.
Yo, look, Demetrius liked the first movie, Battle. How you feel?
Bro, he got good taste. Hey,
Battle. Let me say this. You weren't off about the Mortal Kombat fight scene, Reptile, Liu Kang, but trying to compare that to all the other fight scenes,
bro, like
you got to sit down. You got to sit down.
I never watched China O'Brien.
I said literally, Mortal Kombat has some of the greatest fight scene as far as martial arts movies. Period. I didn't say it wasn't.
Stop. All right.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
No, wait. We're gonna change gears. We're not gonna spend an hour on that shit. I'm gonna start with South London. South London, I gotta ask you because you're more familiar with this than a lot of other guys. Whoever's going in their car drawer, their car door, whatever, mute your mic. South London, the fight's official. Now,
Get your gun out the glove box.
Now, how confident are you that Tommy Fury can finish this shit, that he could get the job done? And just 100, how confident are you?
To be honest, I'm not really that confident. Like he comes from a boxing background and all that, but you know, Jake Paul has actually been under probably more pressure than him going into these fights because he's just a YouTuber that's been, funny enough, knocking people out and or upset or beating ex-MMA fighters, whereas this guy has just been fighting bums and he hasn't been knocking. I don't think he's been knocking anyone out. So I don't know. To me, it's a 50-50 fight. Obviously, he's got more boxing experience. Like, the Furies are not going to want him to not outbox this guy. But you never know. Jake Paul could fuck around and knock him out.
But this what
if Tommy Fury don't beat this white boy to fuck up, I'm really going to look at the Fury name and throw it all in the toilet. It's in the toilet if this kid doesn't win.
If you look at Tommy Fury, especially his last fight, right? Especially the last one, but even the one before that, that redheaded boy beat him, man. I don't give a shit. That redheaded dude.
Yeah, I saw that fight. Yes.
That dude beat him, dog. Like, and then he fought the dude that had not boxed in like 2-3 years.
And you went the distance with him.
and you went to. It's like, bruh, and I'm supposed to believe that you gonna knock out Jiggity Jake Paul. I don't even know if you could do that. Like, I don't
Don't
even know
call
if
him
you
Jiggity Jake. Don't do that. That's so
just
nasty.
Jiggity
Man, that's
Jake.
the weirdest.
That's so
Oh,
disgusting.
Jiggity
That's
Jake Paul,
nasty.
B.
Stop
Jiggity
it.
Jake.
That's so disgusting,
Battle,
bro.
does he knock out Jake? What is your you a Capricorn, right, Battle?
I am indeed.
What does your Capricorn instincts and digestion tell you?
I've never seen Tommy Fury fight. I've seen Fury fight, but I've never seen Tommy Fury fight. So honestly, really, I'm just gonna pick Jake Paul. They wouldn't have picked him if he wasn't to get picked.
Mm, 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 mm. I mean, I
Jake,
don't know how to feel about it. I honestly don't know how to feel about it because Tommy ain't shit, and that's real rap. He ain't
I could say
shit.
this
Like,
though. I could say what's going on good for Tommy. Tommy is the bigger dude. Like he's like 6'6" or some shit like that.
nah, he not. He like the same size and all that as Jake.
Oh,
Real shit.
holy shit.
Yeah, like he not. If he was, I appreciate that, Daniel Rios. This is for all the uploads, interviews, and lives. Thank you, everyone. Hit the like button, Daniel. I appreciate that, bro. You didn't have to do that, but you did it, and I appreciate it. But Tommy ain't shit,
Yo,
man.
this spent shit. Yo, this spent shit is killing me. Like the eyes
that
down shit. My God.
oh,
crazy shit.
My
I just,
God.
yo, I just noticed that shit.
Yo.
that's wrong.
Hey,
Oh
we
shit.
got you. Hey, Ring, plot twist. Plot twist. He never sent you that super chat because he appreciates your hard work. He just wanted you to see his profile picture.
Oh
Yo, I
shit,
can
yo,
see
I
why
just
boxers
noticed.
don't like us, bro. Yo, I can see why, bro. Like we are
We ain't
really
shit.
mean.
We
Like
ain't
as
shit.
people, we are mean. Like
I'm
like
gonna be
Well, you know
as
what?
much
This
as
is their fault. If they would give us the fights we want to see, we wouldn't be like this.
I'm
Nah,
gonna
we
be
I
wouldn't.
honest.
think I
We ain't.
think we
Nah,
still be
wouldn't. 'Cause we
assholes,
ain't
bro.
shit. Yeah, we
Yeah,
assholes shit, bro.
we're really mean people, bro. Like we need therapy because there's no need for that.
That's facts. Like it really.
Like there's no need for that, bro.
Because
Like I
yo,
could
dog, imagine if you Spence and you just stumble on this channel and you see that shit.
I just gonna piss his ass off, bro. He gonna be like, "The fuck is this shit?"
You like think my
Hell, I
life
do to
is a
these
game?
dudes.
bro.
You think
Like
my
we
life
are
is a game?
foul, bro. Like you think my life is a game is horrible.
Hey,
Like
Ring.
we are terrible. Oh my god.
You guys noticed that? Have you guys noticed that Javante Davis, like, even though he can be like pretty like crazy outside the ring, he can take a joke. I'll never forget. It was I can't remember which YouTuber did it, but they posted a picture of Javante Davis as the Muppet, and the tape up.
That was
And he,
boxing. That was boxing act. Shout out to Boxing Antics, who's very cool. He actually put that as his profile picture, yo, as a Cabbage
yeah,
Patch
he
Kid.
actually enjoyed the joke. He actually responds to his fans. Like he responds to L Dub a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, look. All right, let's be real, right? I'm gonna be an adult because I know that I'm probably the oldest one on the panel right now, right? This is what I'm gonna say, right? Davis's career sucks, right? It sucks, but that don't mean he's all bad. The truth is that people got layers, yo. You might be a villain to one person, and you might be cool as shit to somebody else, and he's just another person in this little blue world. And he, the people that support him, he actually is nice to them because I be seeing that shit. The people that support him, he talk to him and respond to him and all of that. I don't support him because I'm not gonna pay for that bullshit. But that's me, that's me.
I've
But
never bought one of his fights, and I don't intend to.
Ring doesn't support him because he
neither.
thinks Devin Haney beats him. So I mean,
No,
that's
So do
why.
I.
it ain't even because of that. It ain't even because of. I do think Devin Haney beats him, but it
Me
ain't
too.
because of that. It ain't
Don't.
He's
because of
just
that.
not
It's just
fighting the fighters
it's
that
coming,
he
bro.
thinks he should fight. That's it.
Everything you,
Simple as
bro, battle. I'm going to say it. Everything you think about Javante is a figment of your imagination. He ain't beat shit.
Which part?
Who the fuck he
Which part?
beat that he supposed to be nice? You think that he's nice, right? You think he's nice.
Hey,
I don't think he's
okay,
nice, bro.
let's put it like this. Let's put it like this, Ring. Okay, so do you have Dillian White beating Wilder?
I haven't thought about it that in depthly, but I don't dismiss it. I don't dismiss it, and I have actual precedence for that. to think that he could knock out Wilder. And I could tell you, he got a left hook, and I think his left hook is harder than Molina's left hook. So if Molina left hook had you dazzled with the spaghetti legs, I think Dillion's left hook could put you out. If he landed, the question is he going to land it?
Okay, so here's my thing. Now, I heard you in an earlier on an earlier podcast saying that he could in fact beat Dillian, but according to you, also Wilder never beat anybody. So can we still have the same opinion on Gervonta Davis?
No, that's not true. See, this is the thing. All right, Wilder did something that is a year mark for me, right? It's a year. It's like a year mark that tells me something. It don't tell me everything, but it tells me something. He knocked out Ortiz 2 times, right? But it's more important to me that he knocked him out when he was an unbeaten fighter that had never been knocked out, right? What that tells me is that, all right, you cooking with something. You cooking with something because you knocked that motherfucker out. Other motherfuckers didn't knock him out. So you got something. It's just not enough for me to jump to all these other conclusions. Now, what I know about Dillian is I've seen Dillian buzzed by shots. I've seen Dillian, I don't count the Povetkin shit necessarily because he's a puncher. I knew that he could knock you out. I said he could knock. I said that in the build-up of the fight. Like, yo, motherfucker.
And you see little Devin Haney get rattled by Linares, who was beat by smaller fighters. So it's clear to me that
you can't say that. Why can't say that? I said in the build-up of the Haney fight, I said it. Linares is gonna land that right hand, and he has one of the best right hands in this whole division because I know for a fact he's gonna land that punch every fight. He landed it on Loma. He gonna land it on you. I want to see how you take the shot. You saying that he got buzzed. I see a dude that didn't fall down. That's what I see. I see a dude that survived. All right, and that's a good thing for me.
That came in direct correlation to him to the round, like literally being right there. You remember he kind of got saved by the bell.
He did, but it's like, bro, we can't idealize this shit neither. Like, yeah, you got hit with a hard shot, but when he caught Loma with that shot, what happened? He got knocked down, bro. That's not.
Let's look at it like this. If Devin Haney would have got knocked down by that shot, people would have been all over Devin Haney.
Yep.
I don't care what it was. That 1-2, if it's hard enough, you're going to go down. Devin Haney didn't go down from that shot. Lomachenko did. A lot of dudes have did. Like Luke Campbell got knocked down by Jorge Linares. Like a lot of people got knocked down by dude.
That's what I'm saying. That like, yo, I wanted to see because that's the chin check test. If you could take a hard shot. Now he got hit by a dude who has. It's not just any old right hand. It ain't a Medicito.
He's been knocking dudes out for a long time in different weight classes, bro.
That's
like he ended people. Did he end Oscar Larios' career or something like that?
This is what I'm saying. This is not a Hennessy's right hand. This is not a Medicito Hesta right hand. This is not an Emmanuel to go right hand. I don't care what the casuals think about Linares. I know Linares' career. That's a 3-division champion. He was the Ring Magazine.
I'm aware of what Linares can do. The fact of the matter is, when you see a puncher like Davis, right? I'm telling you, he can
Now, Battle, this is my point to you. What a puncher like David, what makes him a puncher? That he's fighting featherweights at 130 or fighting super featherweights at 135? What makes him a puncher?
Either way, he just got through knocking out a 140 pounder, bro. Like
dude is not a legit. Barrios is not a legit 140 pounder. That's a dude that moved up.
Wait, battle. Let me put it this way. Let's say let's say battle. Hold on, battle. Wait 1 second. Let's say like Tank Davis fights all the top guys at 130, right? Like Devin, Tio, Loma. If he can do that to them, okay. Well, now we're cooking. If he could fight all the top guys at 130 like a pro grade. Even a Baranchik, even though he's kind of shot now with Josh Taylor. Other guys floating around. If he could do that to them, okay, well, now we know his power is something serious. We know his power is serious.
We have to be realistic, right? 140 is a totally different situation. When we're talking about 135, 130, you can still see that Gervonta Davis can replicate those same knockouts even when he was at 130.
He hasn't even fought. He hasn't even fought the elite guys at 130 yet. Anyway, he hasn't fought the elite guys at 130.
You giving the vote of confidence. Look, the vote of confidence you're giving him, right? And this is where we differ.
I think he's going off the eye test, Julius, because
He ain't going off the eye test because he didn't fight. He did not fight no top 10 fighter at 135. And I don't even know if Barrios was lower end top 10. I think he was top 15. I don't know about top 10.
Did he 130?
I think he was top.
Did he fight him at 130? How about 130? Did Tank fight any of the top guys at 130?
Only Pedraza.
That's it, right?
Only Pedraza. That was it. After that, he fought Cuellar, Ruiz, Munez. They was trying to set him up to fight Mares.
And who the hell are they?
That's what I'm like, yo. And your power, like, yeah, you look strong with them, but who the fuck are they? The last
we can't say Abner Mares. Who the fuck is Abner Mares?
Why do we always try to place this, label on just because they're no names, they have bad chins? We've seen a bunch of no names.
I didn't say no. I didn't. Battle, you putting words in my mouth. I'm
telling
you.
I never said you said that. It's just you're implying it.
No, I'm trying to tell you. Those guys, look, when he fought Cuellar had not fought in 2 years, and he had just lost to, I think it was Mares at featherweight, his last fight. He lost to Mares.
Yeah, he was moving up from 26, yeah.
And he was moving up from 26. If you knock out a guy like that and you look great, I ain't going to think nothing of it because that dude was a featherweight coming off a loss. He's a featherweight, right? You not like usually you hear, okay, just because a guy is a no-name don't mean he's not a good fighter. That only applies to guys like David Avanesian and Mean Machine. Why? Because they're not being promoted like that, but you know that they're top 10 fighters. They're top 10 in their division. So if you top 10 in your division, even if you ain't buzzing, yeah, you still a good fighter. But that shit don't apply to no. That shit don't apply to no motherfucking Cuellar. Like
Ray, Avanesian and Mean Machine, you go in there with them, they'll give you a rough night's work.
Exactly.
And one of them, you can't even pronounce their name because they want to be from Lithuania and shit.
When Cuellar was coming up, he was actually the heavy favorite against Abner Mares before Abner Mares had beat him. So he was a guy that was
who?
Cuellar. So the thing is,
the battle he lost. And
he did lose, but did you see the fight? Did you see how the fight played out?
It's you talking about things that happened between featherweights 2 years prior to the Davis fight. How is Davis a huge puncher?
Yeah, but that fight was like 2 years.
I'm trying to ask you a question. How are you a huge puncher for knocking out a featherweight at super featherweight? How does that make you a huge puncher?
No, I'm as far as 130, he probably okay. As far as 135, besides Teofimo and Richard Coleman, who possesses that much punching power that you've seen?
It's not. Look, you went from 130 to 135. No. I'm not going to say that because at a certain level, and I've heard this a lot from fighters. At a certain level, all these guys hit hard, and then you got the Lopez and the Coleman. At a certain level, all these guys hit hard. Now, what you're doing for Davis is you're ignoring the fact that he fought absolutely no one at 135. No one. Absolute zero. Because Gamboa, when he fought him, that's absolute zero, bro. You wildin'. Now, what I know is that Gamboa fought Castellanos and didn't make it out of the 7th round. Castellanos is a journeyman, all right, with several losses. But he had enough to stop him in the 7th. I saw Davis land clean on Gamboa, and he wouldn't go out. I saw him fall down on one leg. He still picks himself up. So when you tell me he got all this, I'm like, yo, you sure? Because that dude Gamboa fought a journeyman. He couldn't make it out of the 7th. He goes in there.
And mind you, Gamboa is a blown up 26. Mind you, he's a blown up 126.
But you also saw one of the biggest punches at 147, which is Terrence Crawford, knocked that guy down like 5 times. He didn't even blow him out of the water.
Bro, you wildin'. One. That was no. One. You taking away the fact that the parallel you're making between Crawford and Davis, that was years ago, bro. That's the first thing. 2, Gamboa was an unbeaten fighter when Crawford fought him on the up and up. He wasn't on the up and up when Davis fought him. He's a gate. He's not even a gate. He like I wouldn't even call him a gatekeeper because he can't keep the gate. Everybody gonna go through the goddamn gate if he's a goddamn gatekeeper. A gatekeeper.
He's on his way out, in my opinion.
Bang. He's on his way out, bro.
Was it Ryan Garcia talks? They're just using him as cannon fodder for lightweights now, aren't they?
Bro, I'm hearing that he might retire.
See,
I'm hearing that he might retire.
You see, what's happening to Eric Molina is happening to Gamboa, pretty much.
Like you got your look. A gatekeeper is a Chizoria. That's like a gate that like fuck around, find out he could beat you.
Why you call him Chizoria?
Because I told you when I was a child, my last name is fucked up, right? And I'm not going to say it here. Everybody used to fuck it up when I was a child, and I'm gonna fuck up all y'all last names now, so y'all can feel the pain that I feel. When they would call me in class, and I had to hear that fucked up shit. I'm like, all right, watch when I get older.
Can I say it though? One Day Alba is not a fucked up name.
Oh my God, you really my whole government, like my God.
Yeah.
Don't put my I'll take you off this panel. You say that shit again.
You got it.
Hey, Daniel Egan says it ain't the lack of chins, it's the lack of great fighters that don't get hit clean with those shots. The thing is, look, man, you can't gauge power based on what he's doing to little men or lackluster opponents. How you really gonna gauge his power compared to some like with Teofimo? We don't gotta wonder. He broke Nakatani's orbital bone. Yeah, his power.
He gave him a blood. Didn't he give him like a hemorrhage on the
blood? The dude was gonna retire after that fight.
Like, wait. How many times has Nakatani broke his orbital bone? Okay, so Teo broke it. Did he break it in the Verdejo fight and in the Loma fight too? Or
I believe that, and I think Alexis Ribeiro said it the best. Mark said it too. That by the time he fights Verdejo, because he's a tough son of a gun, he made it through the fight. But he got lumped the fuck up in that fight too, though. Like
that was a war, man.
It was a war, bro. But remember, don't forget, if we gauge in Lopez's power, we have Nakatani, we have Komei, we have the respect that Lomachenko gave him. That for 5 rounds, this at least 5 in the beginning. This motherfucker.
We have the Magdaleno fate, bro. You saw what he did to Magdaleno, my nigga. That double left hook was bad.
You can't compare that. That he's doing that to guys at his own weight. To Davis bringing up Cuellar after 2 years of not fighting. Munez, who's not world class. Ruiz, who's not world class. Gamboa, who's way over the hill. He's on his way out. Who are these people? Now, you could bring up Mario Barrios and say that, well, Mario Barrios had a height advantage, perhaps a reach advantage. But the asterisk is that is a guy that moved up, and that is a guy that didn't prove anything at 140 pounds. He didn't beat shit at 140 pounds. No one.
But I think
I'll tell you, Josh Taylor would have.
Say it again.
Hear me out with Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios was cast in a position that, he's damned if he does, he's damned if he don't. I think he was trying to, get some marquee names and marquee wins at 140. Just unfortunately, he just ran up against Tank, and the situation was, hey, I have this bag for you. Let's fight Tank. Let's see what you can do. And boom.
Bro, I look at Barrios as a fighter. Who perhaps could have been an even better fighter if the promotion were behind him and they allowed him the time to develop that he didn't get. Because the truth is, you didn't fight a Baranchik. You didn't fight a Zapata. You didn't even fucking fight a Hank fucking Lundy. For all I know, Hank Lundy would have beat you. So if you can't beat Hank Lundy, right? How are you world class? Now you haven't even.
Are we talking about Davis still?
Huh?
Are we still talking
about Barrios?
Barrios.
Talking about Barrios. Like, you didn't fight a soul at this weight. Like, you didn't beat nobody at all.
Ryan Carl's a soul beat.
Ring. A quick question. Barrios, who's the guy that Barrio beat to get the belt? Wasn't that like a controversial decision or something? Like he didn't really win.
With this Russian dude, and they gave him a gift. Everybody after the fight said they gave him a gift.
Yep.
You didn't beat shit.
Akhmadaliev or some shit.
Not Akhmadaliev. That's the little dude from 122. But it's he got a name that.
My bad.
He got a name with a bunch of a bunch of consonants in it. But like yo, if you don't beat nobody, like you can't bring up a guy. It's the same with Ortiz as it is with Barrios, right? You didn't beat shit, so beating you don't make you the shit because you didn't beat shit. Beat
Yo, it's
Barrios.
kind of, see, it's funny because people seem to prop up Luis Ortiz like, even though what did Larry Merchant say back in the day when Tyson beat Razor Reddick twice? It's like your best win is technically 2 losses. It's kind of like the same thing when Ortiz lost to Wilder twice. It's like they're trying to hack that up as wins or something. Like that's something to be proud of. Like you lost to Wilder twice, and like listen, what's so courageous about that?
Listen, I'll say that Demiani, Mercer, Cooper, these are all better fighters in my mind than Ortiz.
Damn right.
I've seen them fight guys. Ortiz, the only shit that you did that they
I seen Ray Mercer almost kill niggas. Be like,
guys, do y'all know that Luis Ortiz? Do y'all know that Luis Ortiz fought Ray Mercer? Sorry, Luis Ortiz fought Burt Cooper.
He did.
He did. Late in Cooper's career, I saw that shit. Dude, it was like 2011. It was like in 2011. I saw it. I'm like, what?
On his way out when
he was Cooper still fighting.
Yeah, he was still fighting like Kingpin Johnson still be fighting like, bro. You retired, bro. Like,
I thought didn't Kingpin Johnson retire like 3 or 4 times?
Bro, he is one phone call away from fucking being an active fighter. Like, yo, you want to come down to Bulgaria and make 50,000? Hell yeah, I'm on. I swear,
after Joshua blew him away in 2, he's like, yeah, I'm done fighting, bro. I'm tired. Now he's still around.
I'm talking about the Burt Cooper that fucking fought Michael Moorer, right? Like, I've seen guys like that.
I remember Burt Cooper broke Cecil Coffey's nose. That was one of the nasty. Yeah, bro. But
did he break Ray Mercer's jaw?
Ray Mercer said fighting him was a fucking nightmare, and Ray was a nightmare. Ray Mercer was a nightmare. And
merciless.
He said, merciless Ray Mercer, right? So when you fight guys, when you having the fights, we got the fights to go off of. With Ortiz, all we got to go off of is you lost to Wilder. That's why you don't
punch harder his face twice. Harder his shit.
Hey Ray, you know what Ray Mercer said? Who's got the best chin that he's ever fought?
Who?
Burt Cooper.
Motherfucking Burt sniffed a lot of coke, bro. That's what
didn't go anywhere. He said he took my best shots and just won't go anywhere.
Bro, if you do a couple of lines before, like they said he was a raging cokehead. If he sitting there doing lines of coke before the fight, bro, it's gonna be a long night.
I mean, what I found amazing is like how he can just trade bombs with Mercer, but he gets blown out by Riddick Bowe and Foreman. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and go to war with Holyfield, but you can go to war with these guys, but you can't take their part. Like, damn, it's like shit, man.
It's the power. The power is different. Like when George hits you, and you could see that like his right hand, almost looks like it's in slow motion, but. You got to look at how guys take the shot. The red, like, yo, that shit look heavy than a motherfucker. B, that shit look heavy as a cheesecake.
He country nigga strong. You know what?
You
don't want none of that.
You
don't want none of that in your life. You don't want none of that.
He lifting bales of hay. Bro, it's a picture of him with a cow or some shit. He carrying a cow over his shoulder like a book. Like, bro, I would not fight this guy, bro. Like,
I remain like the most amazing thing I saw. The most amazing thing I saw was like in the Holyfield fight, he is just standing there taking Holyfield's bombs, and this dude would not budge. It's like, oh my god! Like,
Alex, you remember when he jabbed Holyfield dead in his face, and Holyfield went halfway across the ring? I was like, yo, my nigga, Holyfield, what is wrong with you, B? Like, why are you getting punched in your face like this, B? Like, and then Holyfield just started wilding on him. What happened?
It was good. What's up?
Oh shit! Rolly out.
What?
He's out, B.
He's out the fight.
I got inside intel that dude is out.
Oh shit! Damn.
Like Davis.
What the hell they gonna do?
Wait. Davis is going. Look, the intel I got, and we gonna see if it check out. This is intel. We don't know nothing, right?
Okay,
it's just intel. But Rolly is out. And Davis is gonna go through. He gonna fight, but it won't be Rolly Romario.
Damn, that didn't take long.
Crazy.
They didn't waste time at all. Damn, man.
Yo, that's crazy, yo.
But you know what's funny? This one is a very dangerous fight for Tank. in this
You think so?
awkward sense.
You think so,
I thought
Chris?
Tank was gonna
You
win.
think so, Chris? Stop trolling, bro.
And
What the hell is that? Is that a chick?
Yo, I would not eat that shit, B. I would not eat that shit, yo. Yo, what
to
the
save
fuck?
the world, you wouldn't eat that?
I
So
would.
for the whole world. 7.6 billion
Why I
people.
gotta wait? Why I gotta save the world? Why you can't save the fucking world? You eat that shit.
Nah, because
If I
you bring
pass
IQ.
it, nah. If I pass
You
it to
bring
you,
IQ.
Nah, fuck
You
all
bring
that.
IQ.
You motherfuckers
You
see
bring
mad.
IQ.
Yo, no. If I pass it to you, if I'm like, yo, Chris,
I'm a
save the
guest.
world.
I'm a guest.
Fuck
I'm
all
a guest
that.
on your
Fuck
panel.
all that. If I slide you that bowl, I'm like, yo, Chris, you gotta say the world. B, take one for the team.
Could I get my could I get my Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury prediction?
Go ahead.
May the best loser win. That's it.
Bro, I got a feeling, man. Like Jake, look, Jake look, this the shit, right? This the underneath the table underlying shit. Jake is a fucking winner, bro. That dude is a winner, like troll and everything.
He's not gonna let Tommy Fury go in there and fuck up what he's doing.
He's a winner, bro. Like, fuck the bullshit. He's a winner. Tommy, yo, motherfuckers, come on, B. Like, you motherfuckers rock with you because of your brother, B. Beta.
That's it. Like, that's all.
Beta. It's your brother they rock with, bro. You by yourself. If you wasn't a Fury, right, with that redhead, that's a loss. If you wasn't a Fury, nah, that's a loss, bro. You lost that fight. We all
but
know
you didn't answer the question, though.
I'm not eating that shit.
So we all died.
Is that like soup tea? Is that like chicken soup?
We all gonna go anyway, right?
So we meeting Satan? So we meeting Satan. Just say that. We meeting Satan. Just say
I'm not eating, bro. My God, I'm not eating that shit.
That's a good piece of chicken.
When you went to KFC, when you go to KFC, is that a KFC cup?
Yeah, man. I'm a KFC guy.
I'm a Popeyes man. I'm sorry.
Look, everybody gives me shit about this. Everybody does. But my whole thing has always been, you get more bird or more whatever, more whatever. Because we know that ain't chicken. Like, let's be real with each other. That shit is not chicken.
Rick, remember that scene from The Waterboy? No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mama's right.
Look, they been said it, yo, my God. That shit at KFC is not real chickens, B. They growing that shit. That shit is not real chicken. And I'm okay with it because the world gonna end, man. Fuck it, right?
Yeah.
The world gonna end. It's just all good, B. We here right
now.
But
you can't eat the soup. Wow.
You can't eat the soup, my guy. You don't want to eat the soup to save us, B.
Should I eat the soup? I eat the damn soup.
See, there go. Hey,
bro,
Jay will save us.
I eat the damn soup, bro. I've had worse.
You ain't even gotta argue no more, Chris, because Jay gonna eat the soup. We don't gotta argue. He gonna eat the
damn soup. I'm eating the damn soup.
Shout out to you, Jay. You're a good man. You a citizen.
You a good dude, B. You a good
dude. Thank you, sir.
Now back to what you were saying about the Hollywood stuff. Back to what you were saying about the Hollywood stuff. I'm going to keep it brief on that one because this is not the forum for this. But there's a lot of iniquitous stuff that happens in entertainment, and we have to really keep it above. There's a lot of stuff that's been alleged and proven, but what's going to stop that and curtail it and make sure it never happens again is people like us talking about it and people like us having actions, because you have to understand these people are people just like us. And a lot of them may pray to entities that we may not want to pray to, but hey, sometimes you might have to fight fire with fire. Like, for example, I was watching Demetrius Andrade today, right? And Andrade was busting dude's ass. Like, for example, he was busting Willie Nelson's ass. And Willie Nelson couldn't do anything in terms of, throwing offense and, mounting any type of offense. And hear me out. This is going back to the Hollywood thing. The only chance you have to beat these people, these oligarchs, these people of richness and everything, of opulence, you got to punch with them. If they hurt you, you hurt them. I understand it may look like a losing war, but you got to remember, there's more of us than there is them.
That's true.
I understand a lot of them are charming. I understand they have their ways about them. But at the end of the day, these people are getting away with things for too long. And we as people have to look ourselves in the mirror and say, enough is enough.
Nah, I'm
These,
gonna
like,
do you one better, Chris. I'm gonna do you one better because you don't know the plot twist. You're not saying the plot twist. The people that are complaining about these rich people, they don't want fairness and equality. They just want to beat them. That's all.
man,
They just
I want
win.
I,
They just wanna
I didn't
win.
want to say that. I didn't want to go cynical because I could be as cynical as you. But yeah,
I'm
that's a
keeping it
given.
real though. Look,
That's
let me
that's a
let
yo,
me let
bro.
me keep
You and I are right.
let me
I
keep it
feel you.
let me keep it 100, right? I don't know about the Weinstein shit, so I'm not gonna use the Weinstein shit as an example because I don't know all the ins and outs about that. But what I'm gonna say is that if a movie producer trying to get a little slice of pussy, right? And you know he want a slice of pussy, just a little Sunday slice of pussy, right? And you give him that slice of pussy because you scared that he gonna blackball you, right? That's not an according to Hoyle crime. You are not you're not being stopped from saying no. You feel me? And you don't know what an absolute certitude in that moment that he's gonna call. You don't know that. Maybe he don't give you a gig, but that don't stop you from getting another gig. Feel me? It's like what I see is that people wrote it. People having buyer's remorse over shit that they
Yep.
did. That's
Yes, they
they
are.
having
Yes,
buyer's
yes, yes,
remorse
yes.
because yeah, you might have used the cuckoo to get ahead, but you know it be like that. Like the world is not perfect, and it ain't never gonna be neither. It ain't never gonna be because
Mm-mm.
there is a lack of accountability there. I'm not saying that's not some slime ball shit to do. That the producer wants some pussy, but then I gotta ask myself, well, was it wrong that a producer wanted some pussy? Like shit.
But hear me out here. Hear me out, Julius. People's buyer's remorse is making the world the way it is. And
I
a
agree
lot
with
of
that.
people are suffering because of it. Like, there's a lot of dudes that don't really care about the fame. That just want to make their money, that want to have their fun and raise a family for them to, create a legacy. And people's buyer remorse and people's trauma won't let that happen. And it's fucked up because at the end of the day, we're talking in wholesale. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
the stuff they do is evil, but ultimately, I understand what you said, the rest, but like that's a choice you still made.
That's what I
Unfortunately,
mean. Like, look, if I sell, like, let's say I live in a poor neighborhood, right? Typical story. I live in a poor neighborhood where they sell drugs, and I decide to sell drugs, right? Because I'm from a poor neighborhood. There's another person in that poor neighborhood hitting them books and passing that bar exam and getting out of that hood. If I'm the one that
and that's
decided,
you
and
because
then
you're Esquire.
nah, I ain't even that. If I'm the one that I'm gonna decide to sell coke or whatever, right? Just whatever, because this is a hypothetical scenario. Whatever comes with that is my responsibility. It's not someone else's. It's not the block's fault. I always use Jay as an example, right? Because to me, Jay is the guy. Jay got to the point and got himself to a point. I don't even gotta rap no more, B. I don't gotta rap no more, right? Everything is on you. The workload is on you. It's not on somebody else. It's not somebody else's job to make sure that you good. It's always been your
Oh,
job to make sure that you good. When you turn on a light, right? If you live in New York and you live uptown and you turn on that light, you ain't got to tell them cockroaches to run. They know to run. It's your job to take care of yourself. Like it's their job to take care of themselves. That's why they run it. And if you waiting for it to be somebody else's job, then you a fucking loser.
that's a fact. That's a fact.
You a
But
fucking loser.
we off that. But like, yeah, what happens to Rolly now if that happens to be true?
That means no,
Because
no. I mean, you got to make certain inferences. If Showtime, if the rumor checks out and they thought enough of the situation to pull him, that might mean that there's evidence.
Mm.
and that might mean his career is over.
Could be.
Possibly, yeah. I'd say so if this shit's true. He's done.
Because Mayweather, I ain't gonna lie to you, after the Marinas fight, put him with two ducks, in my opinion. Avery Sparrow, not a bad fighter, good little Philly fighter, but nothing too spectacular. Anthony Yagit got
That
bounced out
dude
in the World
cannot
Boxing
punch.
Super Series.
That dude cannot
Who?
punch. Like he could box, but he can't punch. Yigit. Like and
Yeah,
motherfuckers knew that. They're like, yo, that dude, he could box. He can box. That's the wild part. He like Paulie Malignaggi, but from where he from? Sweden? I think he from
Sweden.
Sweden. Sweden in my country, yo.
It ran question like every time Rolly, every time Rolly talks.
America. What are you talking about?
Right, the question like every time Rolly talks, does it sound like he inhaled like half a balloon of helium or something?
Yep.
Who?
Yep.
Rolly,
Yep.
But I want to welcome. Hold on. All right, let's let everybody in on the conversation. I want to welcome Joel Hobson to the panel, Leo to the panel. What's goody, Leo? Always a pleasure. Leighton Evelyn to the panel. I'm gonna start with Joel. Joel, what's going on, man? What's happening?
Nothing, brother. I heard y'all guys on here talking, man, and what caught me, I heard you talking about the buyer's remorse. And I agree with you, man. A lot of people are doing things, compromising their values and their dignity, and then they getting mad about it after the fact. This is what I heard, and that's what made me want to join in and throw my 2 cents in there.
Yeah, I want to expand on that conversation because to me it's like, look, I'm not trying to minimize or belittle or just shit on somebody else's experiences, but it's like, yo, look, everything is a trade-off and life is not perfect. When you make decisions, you got to take the good with the bad. If I'm getting money, right? If I'm selling coke or bud or whatever, a heroin, right? And I'm getting money and I'm living for a while, yeah, that's all good. But when I get knocked, that's my fault. That's not nobody else's fault. That's my fault because I made that choice. So I view a lot of the situations that we hear about in the media in that scope. They're like, yo, yeah, you probably gave that producer some CUDA because you knew he wanted some CUDA and you figured you'll get ahead. But you can't, to me, if you turn around after that, knowing all of that, you gave him the CUDA, you don't want to live with it. That's what it is. But you made that decision because you never had to give him the CUDA. You could have said, nah, fuck that. I'm going to stand on principle and I'm out. And that's it. You didn't want to do that. You wanted to cop out. So when you cop out, it's hard for me to feel sorry for that person. It's hard for me because I'm like, yo, you made that decision though. You could have been like, man, I ain't giving you shit. I'll get another role. Watch. I'll get another movie role. Watch.
I totally agree with you, man. Again, that's one of them situations where you got a choice you got to make. You could take your ass back to that Walmart that you was working in and bumfuck nowhere, or you can lay on that couch. But again, the choice is yours. You don't have to do that. And I think it's lame when you see all these people coming out the woodworks. And I like that cliche you guys are using, buyer's remorse. That's a great way to put it, man. I don't like it, man. I think it's a despicable thing to do to people, man, because again, it's one thing if somebody takes it from you. Exactly. It's another thing if you give it to them. Now, I'm with you, man.
Joel, can I give you some pushback on that one? Why does this powerful man have to use this power in such a degenerative and derisive way to get what he wants? If you are so powerful to get to a position, why can you not get that on the arm of you? If you're a smooth dude, you can get pussy anytime. Like, why does it have to be that, oh, you want this role? You gotta give me some ass. I understand it's a choice, but dog, why you gotta do that when you can just get any pussy you really want if you put your mind to it?
Now, let me answer it one. Could I answer it real quick?
It don't work like that. It don't work like that, bro. It don't work
Could
like
I
that.
answer that question?
I've had brothers who've
hold on, Evelyn.
Shit.
Hold on, Evelyn. First,
Sorry,
hold on, Evelyn. First, let Joel chime in on it, and then I'm gonna pass it to you.
Basically, man, because that's what rich and powerful guys do, man. Rich and powerful guys do stuff like that, man.
All right, now,
that's
Evelyn,
my answer.
I feel you.
All right, now let me let Evelyn on the conversation. Evelyn, what you think about it?
Yo, what I'm saying is, right, I know my brethren, I grew up in school. He spat on the bitch's face in high school. I'm not gonna lie, it's not nice. He spat on the face in high school. She fucking ruined him. She lied, said this, said that. Ruined the guy. Ruined the guy. And when it come out then, it was just lies. And that's why I don't know the truth for that with Rolly, but the lies, it's not truth, there's no substance. If there's no substance, no proof, you can't do that to someone. You can't do that to someone. Because no matter what, Showtime, all that's going to hurt him, his sponsor's going to get hurt, and he could be innocent as fuck, bro. Do you know what I mean? That's my opinion, bro.
Now, before
Bruh,
I pass it
Julius,
to Lennox,
man.
wait. Before I pass it to Lennox, I'm gonna say that. Look, I saw a guy. This was maybe 5-6 years ago. It was a guy I was working with, young guy. They did that shit to the dude, right? It was a girl. Ex did that shit to the dude. The cops came and got the motherfucker at the job, right? Obviously, he couldn't get the job back. All of that. And then like 2-3 weeks later, come to find out, yo, the girl herself, nah, she said she was lying. She was just mad. They broke up, da 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 da. And it's like, yo, you could turn somebody's whole motherfucking life upside down with a goddamn
100%.
lie. With a
100%.
lie.
Was she charged? Did she go to jail? Did she go to jail or was she charged?
No, they didn't do shit to her.
See that? That's what I'm talking about, man.
She
Ring,
said
what
that
is
the
it?
dude.
I didn't hear.
She said that the dude raped her, yo.
Oh, okay.
And that
So
happened
she
to her
basically
ass. So she got off scot free.
She falsely accused the man.
Yes, and I think if this wasn't in New York, because I believe that in New York, I'm not sure, I believe that in New York they have there's repercussions, but I'm in this country ass motherfucker, and they didn't do nothing to her, yo.
Bro, like it's astounding the level you can get away with for false I'll say grape accusations, because like I don't know if you remember the girl who said the football players had, like, in a sense, ganged up on her and raped her, but in actuality it was all consensual. Those guys got the scholarship for it and everything, and one of them went to jail.
That was
and she
Duke
got
Lacrosse. That was Duke Lacrosse in 2006, I think.
Didn't
Yeah,
that
and-
chick turn around? Didn't she end up killing her boyfriend or something some years later? That same chick that you're talking about there?
I don't remember that, but I remember the story. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think I saw that on the news. I don't know for sure, but I think that chick ended up killing her boyfriend, man.
Now I'm gonna say this. I heard a story from Nassim Richardson. God bless the dead Nassim Richardson. He talked about a situation with Bernard Hopkins, my Capricorn brother. He's a Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn. We're very smart people. He said one time they were in there, bunch of guys. There's one girl. I believe she was a member of the media, something along those lines. But there's one girl in the room, right? The lights go off. Something happened. It was an outage. Bernard runs out of the goddamn room. Nassim asked him, yo, why you ran out the room? Like, because I ain't going to be in there if something happened. So they could say it was me. Something happened? No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that story.
How about run out with
story.
the woman,
Yeah,
though?
I remember
That's
that.
crazy as hell.
Nah,
I remember that story.
You gotta
That's
be on
smart as
point,
shit.
because that is what Tupac alleged happened to him. They're like, I ain't do shit to her. If somebody else did some shit to her, cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't do shit to this person. But because I'm there, y'all won't come after me.
Wow.
Gents, right
The
quick.
repercussions are that should be severe.
Gents, right quick, because this reminds me of a story. Major national news. I can't remember like the names of who was involved, but it surrounded like a woman who was like wandering around the street one night with her friends. She got drunk, and it looked like she hurt herself or assaulted herself or did something to herself. And like her friends asked her like what happened, and she made up a story she was raped. So like she blamed some guys who like had accosted them earlier, and she turned them down. So like the guy she accused, they arrest this guy, no proof, no evidence, and this guy does like 4 years in jail until she decides she wants to come clean.
That's it.
And until she decides,
Jules.
I'm about to wrap it up.
Can you not hear me?
Hold on. I'm gonna let Lennox in on the conversation. Lennox, go ahead.
Yeah, Jules, can you not hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, big man. Yeah, you checked the thing. I just sent you some updates. But anyway, it's all fine and dandy what everyone's trying to Johnny Cochran the thing. But fam, how do you explain 8 people? You know what I mean? Every situation you might have been going on is a one person.
Yeah. Lennox, I'm gonna say this. I said this at the beginning of the show. I'm not going up to bat for Rolly until the fact. I'm not like ain't none of that.
Jules. All right. Yeah, hang on.
8 mates is easy. 8 mates of money.
But this is but this is what I'm gonna say, Leighton. This is what I'm gonna say, and I said this before. The precedence is dangerous. The facts have to come out, and due process has to be reached, because you could turn a person's life upside down with an accusation. So let due process happen. That's what needs to happen. If this dude did something, let them follow the letter of the law and bring him to justice, because obviously I have a daughter, I have sisters, a mother, a wife. I do not condone that behavior.
100, 100.
Yeah, listen, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to take it back to the boxing. Money's been invested, content has been shot. We men are taking an L because, you know what I mean? There's content sitting on the floor right now for that fight that can't be used. You get me?
Wow.
So.
Well, Lennox, what I'm saying is like the poor man.
No, big man. I'm not discussing. Hang on, Jules. Wait, Jules. Can you explain to them, man?
Yo,
wait a second. Hang on.
Leighton. This is what I'm gonna say now. This is what I'm saying now. Pay attention. Don't nobody talk. Don't nobody get into no shouting match. I said this at the beginning of the show. All right, pay attention. There is no reason for me to defend anyone. Why? She could be telling the truth, right? So let them do what they got to do with the proper channels and due process. Because if I'm being honest, and I said this, he reminds me of deviants that I've seen. That like you'll be like, yo, don't leave your sister, don't leave no girls around this cat, because this cat is a weirdo. I don't want to accuse him of that, right? Because I don't know the facts. So don't jump to conclusions. Don't assume he's innocent. Do not assume he's innocent.
And honestly, hey guys, I just want to get one thing very clear. I'm not here to discuss his allegations. I'm just here to chat about the fight. And all I'm saying is my conversation just has to do with the fight and the boxing of it. I can't get into that because, Jules, you know where I roll, so man's not even going to get into liability. I'm living too good right now. You know, I'm only in the States for the big fights. So I'm not even going to discuss things that's going to lead to liability because you see what, man, you know what I mean? You see what you got, the information you got, yeah? That's all coming from the broadcasters going to step away from a liability situation. And that's a big L. You see me, yeah? That one episode that's been cut, that's a big financial L. I could tell you what we bill. I could tell you what we bill for editing. You get me?
I'm gonna tell you what. Lennox. Don't. Not,
so let me have a go.
Everybody, I'm gonna let you go after me. Leighton. What I'm gonna say is this: I don't want nobody putting himself in no compromising position. But I prefaced everything we said before I even let anybody on the panel. Right? I want due process. No more, no less. That is why it's there. Because on one end, you could turn somebody's life upside down with an accusation. On another end, this guy could be a deviant. You never know. You cannot assume anything. But what needs to happen is, okay, if this person really did this, you go through the proper authorities. You do what you got to do to bring that person to justice. Because I do agree with whoever said, 8 people. Feel me? That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people, dog. That's a lot of people. Like, that's a lot of people to be saying the same thing. And I said this to Chris that, he's not an NFL player and he's not a basketball player. He's not the atypical athlete that gets targeted by those opportunistic individuals. Rolly doesn't have much of a profile, which kind of makes me lean towards what I'm hearing. They're like, yo, dog, who the fuck is he that somebody gonna go after him? Nah. They fuck around is telling the truth. They fuck around, just let it go through the proper channels because that's what needs to happen. Regardless of whether he did it or he didn't, it still needs to go through the proper channels. Now, go ahead, Leighton.
Yeah, what
Jules,
I'm saying
read the last two things I sent you.
No, Lennox, let me go, Len. Lennox, I respect you. I've been on Jules' show. Listen long enough. I've got bare respect for you, brother. I know where you drop. I know where you come from, right? I understand that. But what I'm saying to you is, like, listen, I've been with my missus since I was 16 years of age. We've been with her 30 years, yeah? So, I mean, I got 3 daughters. Bruv, but I watched my spa as a youngster go through accusations, which he never done. I ruined him. Fucking ruined him. Took away his life. Ruined him. And then after, like, 5-7 years down the line, people realised he never done it. And that's all I'm saying. And I'm saying it's you. If the girls say it, the girls say it. Let them go through the proper ways to do it. Well, this guy's already been judged, juried, and hung. He's already been hung. He's lost Showtime. He's lost things. He's going to lose his sponsorship. He's not going to get nothing. And it's not fair, bro. That's all I'm saying. Sorry, Len.
Now let
but I respect you.
let me read the super chats that they're piling up. Why does this powerful man do degrading things? Don't be blind, man. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. History has shown time and again, giving anyone power will never end well. Jim
He was
Jones.
talking to me. Can I speak, Tim?
Now hold on, let me finish, bro. Let me finish reading the super chats.
My
Jim
bad.
Jones and Caligula. Lemon Pepper Chitlin says Alvin Robertson, the NBA player, had a similar fate. All right, now go ahead.
To Will Lynch, I understand that, but at the end of the day, if you are in a position of power, I understand absolute power corrupts absolutely. I understand wholeheartedly, but everyone must understand they have a responsibility to do the right thing. Well, I understand what's right for other people may not be right for you, but do understand your actions have impacts on people, and those impacts have far-reaching consequences to other people. Because Will and I'm on the same page as everyone with that. I understand when you are a powerful man, you want to exercise your power, you want to exercise your dominance. That goes without saying. But we must understand when we do things of this ilk, there is implications and there's far-reaching, consequences that affect a lot of people. That affect a lot of people. And now what Lennox was saying, 8 people? I didn't know it was 8 people.
Yeah, it's
Holy shit.
It's 8 girls. It's 8 girls. Now I want to add this because the conversation that we're having about Rolly is not the conversation that we were having in reference to Weinstein and certain themes. Because once again, and I said this, I cannot say anything about the Weinstein situation in particular because I do not know all the ins and outs of that situation. I don't. You understand? So I'm in no position to talk about what Rose McGowan and those other girls. I don't know all of their story. What I am saying is that the conversation we need to have is at what point does it become unethical for a person that has power to seek a little slice of pussy? That's what I'm asking. Because I'm doing it in the form of a question. Like, at what point does it become morally ambiguous? Because you have power, should you not pursue the CUDA? Because you have power, at what point does it become unethical? Because it's a gray line there. And some people exploit it. They do. Let's be honest. Yeah, some people exploit. Like some people might use the CUDA to get ahead. It happens, you know. And I don't look down on it. To me, everything is a hustle. Everything is a hustle. To me, all of it. The CUDA, everything is a hustle. So I'm like, where do you draw the line to say that, you know what, a cat that perhaps is in a movie studio that has power and connections, right? Should he just not ask for the CUDA at all, even if he wants it?
Let me jump in on this one. Let me jump in on this one.
Hold on now. South London ain't get to talk in a while. Let me let South London talk. Go ahead, South London.
For me, we live in an age where everyone's just moaning about everything, right? And no one wants to take accountability for what they do. Now, if I'm in a position of power, I would rather naturally use the stuff that I grew up with, you know, the gifts or the gift of the gab, as it were. But when you're living in the position of power and you're dealing with people who are several steps below you, yeah, and you think most of these people are nothing, right? If you offer them a step in life, but to say, and then if you offer them a step in life and say, do you know what, if you give me a slice of this or a slice of that, then I'll change your life. If that person looks at you and thinks, yeah, I want to change my life, then that's their fault. They have to take accountability for what they've done. They don't have to take it. They can walk away. It's a leave it or take it situation. And if you're gonna take it, then don't come back several years later talking about some Me Too stuff, because at the end of the day, you put yourself in that position because you saw money on the table, you saw the bright lights, you saw all these things that you was attracted to, and you wanted to sell your soul to the devil. That's your fault.
That is
And I
not,
agree
not,
with that wholeheartedly.
not what I equated it to, because I can't relate to that. Like if a high-powered woman, if I was in my 20s and some high-powered movie producer wanted me to slang some pipe, I don't got a problem with that. That's shit. Let's go.
Shit.
Shit.
You ain't alone there, bro.
You want give me? You telling me I could be in 5 movies if I just put it in? Shit. Let's go.
Put it in your butt. What?
Let's motherfucking go. Right.
Shit.
But that's why I cannot use that parallel. Like the only parallel that I could use that makes sense, at least from where I'm sitting, is if I make a decision to be a drug dealer or a murderer, if I live by the sword, when I die by the sword, I can't turn around and cry about it because I did that. I did that. Somewhere else in my neighborhood, there is a child reading his books and doing his homework and passing his classes and going to the bar exam or the medical school, what have you. Somewhere else, somebody in a similar walk of life is doing what they got to do it right. If I'm not, I don't get to turn around and act like it wasn't my decision. It was my decision. It's always my decision to decide to do what I'm going to do. And if I decide to sell coke or body motherfuckers for money, right? That's on me. That's not on society. No, it's not on society. It's on me.
Preach, you. Preach, son. Preach.
It's on me. You make a decision. And what I notice now, which is a popular theme, not exclusive to the conversation that we're having, there's no accountability. It's not society. No, it's not society's fault that you selling crack. It ain't. It's yours because you decided to do that. You could stop it and stop. Then don't do it. You should have never did it. But when shit go down, it's on you. It's always on you. You made a choice. So live with it. And what I see is people make choices these days that after a while, oh, you don't want to live with it now. It's not your fault. Oh, I dig it. But my mind don't work like that.
Can I add my 2 cents?
Like Julius like that.
Can I add my 2 cents to it?
Go ahead.
One thing that I think we leaving out the equation, man, a lot of these people are being motivated by finance, man. These people are able to file civil suits and all of that kind of stuff. And what they're actually doing, they're actually double dipping. So, for example, you take somebody with a Harvey Weinstein, right? They got the part in the movie, and then they was able to turn around sometime later and exploit the fact that, okay, Harvey Weinstein might have, got them to pay to play, but now they able to come back and sue the man. So that's right there. It goes like to what you're saying when you talk about if you do the time, you do the crime. And the brother South London said the same thing that you and I said. If you make a decision to do something, that's immoral, you can't cry about it. But my point is, these people are they're double dipping. They're getting what they want at the OnStar after they sleep with the guy. Then they're coming back at a later date. They're filing criminal charges first and foremost. Then after the criminal charges, they filing civil charges. So if you ask me, that's what's going on. These people are double dipping, man.
Now, I'm going to say this before we leave this subject because I see that the chat wants us to get back to the box. And I'm going to say this much, right? I'm skeptical and cynical of every single person, everyone, right? So when you see a person that is in a position of power, right, there's ways to get at them. The same way it's ways to get at an NFL player, an NBA player. It's people that take advantage of situations all the time. And I'm not gonna name names and shit like that, but I'm just saying that, yeah, the same way that there are predators on one end of it, there are predators on the other end of it. So you have to be in the middle, get the facts first. Get the facts first before you cast judgment. I'm not going to judge the women. I'm not going to judge the guy. I don't know. I need the facts. And then let's see, based on the facts, whether a line was crossed. Because to me, the line looks blurry as shit. He a movie producer that got a lot of power. He a movie producer or a movie producer, a person of power that has power, that lives in opulence. Whenever they decide to go for some cooter, I guess that they're putting themselves in a compromising position. But we all go after the cooter every day. So if you broke, ain't nothing wrong with going after the cooter. But when you got some money, you got to be careful when you go after the cooter because they might try to use that against you. That's the message that I'm getting.
Can I add one last thing? Because got to get ready to go up in the morning. I jumped on your
brother. Go on.
Go on, Joel.
Hey, listen, man. I've directed and produced. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I directed and produced 6 boxing documentaries, man. I subscribed to your channel, and I wanted to know if it was all right if I could drop the links to the trailers into your chat section, man. I'm definitely coming back and join y'all guys again, man. But I got to get ready to get up early in the morning, man.
Don't drop them into this chat section. What you do is wait for this live to end, right? I want you to do this. Wait for this live to end, and then
Hello.
In this chat section, they're gonna have to look for it. If you drop it in the comments, it'll already be there, ready to click. So you could drop those links once this live is over.
Okay, brother. Well, listen, when y'all guys usually come up, man? I just happened to find y'all, man. I was on YouTube and I seen late night boxing talks, man. I said, let me see what y'all, because I'm an old school guy, man. I'm 53 years old, man, and I haven't really been following boxing, man. Really, after Bernard Hopkins retired and Roy Jones and all them, you know, I ain't followed the rest of these guys, man. But man, listen, I want to get in here, man, so I could you know, we could discuss some of this old school boxing if there's anybody in there interested in you know, discussing old school boxing, man.
I love old school boxing.
Yeah, we like let me change the shit. Yeah, like we talk about old school boxing all the time. So all you gotta do is look. If you subscribe, you'll probably get a notification as soon as I go live. Usually, I go live around this time at this same time in the week. Sometimes several times in the week. And you come on here chop it up about Hopkins and Roy and Ray Mercer and all them, because I'm like, I don't sound old, but I'm damn near 40. Like, you know what I mean? Like I grew up watching Mike and Chavez and Roy and Bernard and Tony and all them. I grew up watching all of them.
Hey man, that's really cool, man, because again, man, I don't follow the young guys too much. I mean, my guys is Canelo and Earl Spence, man. You know, I like them dudes, man. I like Tyson Fury too, but I don't really follow the new wave guy. You know, after a while, you start outgrowing it, man. You know, the guys that you came up with and looked up to, they kind of sort of die out. And if you're not really hanging around the sport, you know, to be a part of that, man, it's like you lose track of it, man. But it was great talking to y'all guys, man. And what I do, man, after this is over with, like you said, you know, I'll drop the links to my trailer, and I'll drop the link to my boxing.
Top guy, bro. Top guy.
Yeah,
right.
like
Respect
all you
you,
gotta
man.
do. All you gotta do. Wait till this live is over. If anything, wait till the morning. Wait till it's over and it's uploaded, and drop all the links in the comment section, because it's gonna be more accessible to people if you do it that way.
Well, that's how I'm gonna do it, man. And hey, thank you, man. Thank you guys for letting me come
Joel,
on there,
before
man.
you go,
Sir.
Before you go, what, Joe? Where are you from in Philly? Southwest Philly, North Philly?
North Philadelphia, good brother. Up there by the old Champs Gym, up off of 24th and Ridge. You ever been to the Champs Gym owned by Quinzel McCall in North Philly?
No, I'm from New York, so that's why I just asked.
Oh, okay. What part of New York you from, man?
Long Island, LI.
Long Island. Okay, cool. You got guys like Dennis Milton and Mark Breland and all them dudes up your way, man.
We have Buddy McGirt. Yeah, we have a couple guys. Where's Meldrick Taylor from? Is he from North Philly too?
Meldrick Taylor is from Philadelphia, man. As a matter of fact, me and Meldrick's brother Eldrick, Meldrick's twin. We really tight. Yeah, Meldrick's from Philly. From not.
Now I'm gonna tell you this, Joel. It's a young fighter. He's gonna be fighting on Saturday night. He's from Philadelphia. His name is Jaron Ennis. He's an ambidextrous fighter. He can lead with the right. He can lead with the left. He can fight southpaw, orthodox. He got a lot of characteristics. I know you don't follow a lot of the young guys, but
I'm familiar with Ennis because my buddy, a guy by the name of Ronnie Hammond, was training fighters. He was a pretty good amateur boxer too. I mean, he's a pretty good pro boxer until he got a detached retina. But I'm familiar with Ennis because my buddy's friends with his dad. So yeah, I know who Ennis is. And you know, I'm familiar with the guy. You know, who was my man, J Rock and what's the other? J Rock was the junior. Danny.
Tevin Farmer, Gabriel Rosado.
Rosado, yeah. Kevin Farmer and all those guys. You know, I know all the guys that got the championship belts. But again, you
Stephen
know,
Fulton.
who?
Stephen Fulton.
Stephen Fulton, yeah, WBO champion, young guy, fights at 122. Just won the WBO title in his last fight.
And he's from Philly?
He from Philly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I know y'all guys know Danny Davis. You know Danny?
Danny
Davis. He was a part of Bernard Hopkins' camp.
That name sound familiar, but it sound familiar.
Yeah, well, he's part. Matter of fact, if you ever look at any pictures of Bernard Hopkins, or you look at Bernard Hopkins' camp, Danny Davis is he's one of Bernard Hopkins' guys. It's Bernard. It was Bowie Fisher, Nassim Richardson, and Danny Davis. Those are Bernard's immediate. That's Bernard Hopkins' immediate circle. Danny Davis is one of them.
I dig it. Well, look, you always welcome to come back and chop it up about the old school boxing and the new school boxing, because we talk about all of that on here, and we talk about.
I'll be back, bro.
No problem. Back. Always welcome, man. Have a good night.
Right back at you, man. Please, peace.
All right.
Yeah.
Now to get.
Jules.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lennox.
Oh yeah. Since you man was on Philly, yeah. So I was shot a few things with Boots, and that man's an animal. It might be a murder on Saturday.
I mean, I know. Look. Let's get into the boxing first. I want to read this super chat. I appreciate that, Willie Lynch. This one is for you, Chris. Willie says only 2 people have ever given up their power for the sake of the people, and one of them is George Washington. Machiavelli once said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience who you really are." With that being said,
and I concur with that sentiment.
Now let me concur. Thomas Dulorme is going to experience what Jaron Boots Ennis really is. So it's just a question of what round is he going to get stopped. I am. I have a very dark sense of humor. Very dark sense of humor.
Sexy nigga. That's why I fuck with you, Reed. That's why you my nigga.
And I'm a very underneath it all, I'm a very dark person. I come from a very dark place where we do very dark things. I have a dark sense of humor. That's a fact. And Jaron Ennis is about to catch a body. But I'm gonna say this.
Let's not say that. Really, let's not say that.
I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that. But what I am gonna say is we won't see the best of Boots at 147 because they won't give him the chance. They won't give him the chance.
That's a fact.
Well, honestly, let's
go ahead.
Let me just be frank. Delorme is gonna bring it. Let's be honest. He's gonna bring it. So it's going to be a good fight. I'll tell you with 2 good fights there will be that a lot of men probably overlooking. Boots and the Zapata fight, because Josue, and obviously probably a bit of bias because you know what I mean. I know Josue and been in camp with Josue. Josue is on it, you know what I mean. So those 2 fights with 2 young up and coming lads that are going to be solid fights this weekend. I'm a bit upset that I might be on a plane and not get to see Josue do the thing live, but you know what I mean?
I want to ask you about Josue's fight because did you see Zapata versus Lundy? Did you see that?
Yeah, Zapata looked at, you know what? You know, I always, fam, he's shot. He's shot. I always tell you this, yeah? Remember, you know we go through this. I'm always telling you, when I see a fighter take a beating, I'm like, he's never going to be the same. Remember I said that after he fought Baranchik. I said no. Also, remember when everyone was bigging up Lomachenko for Nakatani, and I said, fam, Nakatani is not the same guy that fought this guy. He's coming off this thing. So a lot of these guys, you know what I mean? Like anybody that Wilder fights now, I know man is saying he's got power. Like that man is done. Anybody he fights now is a cash out. He will get battered. Timing's not the same. Those 12-round beatings, man, do not recover from that. Zapata is not the same guy. I'm sorry. He's probably motivated, but based on what he looked like against Lundy, his timing was off. Yeah, the heart, you know what I mean? He's trying, but it's just something there. You could see that he was pulling the trigger and the shots were coming a millisecond too late. And once it gets to that point, it's done. Pack it in.
Listen, I talked to my my psychic because I have a psychic. I consult her for big fights. Sulem Urbina, she's usually right about these fights, you know. And she went with Zapata, and I was like, really, Zapata? You know, she's not often wrong. Psychic Sulem.
Probably because Zapata punches harder than Josue Vargas, But
But I-
Vargas, man, he puts it together. He's slick. He moves his head real well. He puts it together. But the thing is was Josue, like he's gonna have to really sit down on his punches. Like
well,
one of these
let's
fights,
say
he's
this.
gonna
Let's
have to
say
really
this.
sit down on his shots.
Let's identify what was it in the Lundy fight that all of y'all saw that made, if you think that Zapata shot, that the Baranchik fight took something out of him that he ain't ever gonna get back. What was it that you saw that made you feel that way? Because Hank Lundy don't fight like Josue. That's the first thing. So it's not an identical situation. You know what I mean? I saw that the movement of Lundy was bothering the movement of Lundy was bothering Josue. He couldn't keep up with. Josue was bothering Zapata. He couldn't keep up with him.
But for all fairness to Jose Zapata, he didn't look like he had a good warm up in the dressing room. I remember that was on the undercard of Josh Taylor, Julio, on
and Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez, right? Jose Ramirez. And he looked bone dry. That could play a part into it, but yeah, he looked shot.
The timing.
Did Lundy drop Zapata in the fight?
Say it again.
Yeah,
Jay?
he did drop.
Did Lundy drop Zapata in the fight?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, he did. I remember that.
Wow.
Go ahead, Lennox.
The timing was key. He looked like a guy who'd not been in the ring for 2 years.
Mm.
That was what I look at things from a fighter's perspective. He looked like a guy who's his gauging of range, yes, and Lundy was moving a lot, yeah, but it's not even that. His ability to gauge range and the timing. Like you see when a man's throwing the right counters, but throwing him a little bit too late.
Mm.
You get me? Like he knows what to do. He knows what this guy's doing. He knows what to counter with, but he's countering too late. Whereas if your timing's not gone, boom. If you're doing a catch and shoot, yeah, as soon as it touches, boom. But it's like it's a touch, and then he's like, "Rah, I'm supposed to throw this counter." You get me?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I saw.
There's like a pause.
Yeah.
He's just behind the guy. Look, if y'all, and for those that doubt that Zapata could be shot, right? Just remember the Baranchik fight was this year. That was earlier this year. He looked like a completely.
That was this year.
That was this year, bro. Earlier this year.
No. Ray, that was last year. That was last October. The Baranchik fight.
Late.
That was late. That was late last year. That was late last year. Yeah.
You sure?
Positive. It was in October. Positive.
It was still the bubble. It was a bubble thing.
Oh, it was a bubble fight.
Right,
yeah, he's raised a bubble fight. Yeah.
All right, you motherfuckers. You motherfuckers.
Lennox, I gotta ask you about Boots. You said this guy's a real life animal, so I presume you were watching him spar and everything. So,
oh, fam, there's there's things I can't discuss until the fight's done.
I know.
Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this about Boots. Right? He is at a point. He's super talented guy. Like,
he's too good for his own good.
You can see that much, but at 27-0, I don't know how many knockouts because he has a very high knockout percentage.
25.
Yeah, like 25 out of 27 by way of knockout. He's not going to get the fights that he needs at 147. I mean, you could put him in there with, Igis Kavaliauskas, but it won't mean the same thing because Igis just got knocked out by Virgil Ortiz.
I think he would really badly hurt Igis.
He would hurt Igis. I know that. But
the thing is with Duran,
there's nobody for him to fight after who is he gonna fight? Jamal? If he's gonna fight Jamal James, then okay. If he's gonna fight the winner of James versus Butaev, then okay. But I don't even know if he's in the WBA's rank standards. Like I don't know.
The only way Boots gets a shot at anything is on a Mando, because there's just not enough. His promotional situation is a bit dodgy. And there's not enough money behind Boots to really force a situation. Like, you get me? Like, honestly, and I hate to, it sounds a bit mad because we always bring this man up, yeah? If Boots was getting promoted, like, by Big Money Eddie, it'd be a different thing. Because, you know what I mean? Because man would get knocked out for the right bag.
Yeah.
But wait. I think the fight for him is going to be Kakarot.
Conor Ben.
No, Kakarot, because he's number 2, number 3 in the IBF.
You
I
talking about
think
Abdul
the IB
Kakarov? Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I was saying he should fight
I
him in
think
an eliminator or something. You know.
Yeah,
the
who's
IBF
got
is
the
really
IBF?
over. The IBF
Yeah,
eliminator.
Spencer's got the IBF, and them men have not ordered a mandatory in quite a while too.
What the hell's going
Why
on
with that?
What's up with that?
Listen, I heard something a few weeks ago in reference to the WBA when the Alphabet Commission put the squeeze on them. This is just a rumor that some of the I guess officials or subordinates or whatever the fuck they were from the WBA migrated over to the IBF. Now I see that IBF mandatories are not coming down as fast as they used to. Like Spence should have been. Now this is the thing. We also have to remember this though. Also, a part of the reason that Spence doesn't have a mandatory is because when Custio Clayton fought Sergey Lipinets, they ruled it a draw.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That fucked it up. That they ruled it a draw.
What was the winner of that fight was supposed to be made mandatory, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yo,
okay. Right.
I'll say it first. Valdez beats him. I'll say it first. Valdez beats him, bro.
Valdez beat who?
Spence brother.
Valdez.
Valdez.
Who's Valdez?
You mean Ortiz?
Sorry, my bad. Ortiz. Yeah. Ortiz, my bad.
I mean,
Yeah,
but he's not. Yeah, but he's not gonna. Yeah, but
they're not gonna fight each other.
Yeah, like I look at this point. I do not disagree with that because Ortiz would push the pace. Ortiz is looking to hurt you. He's gonna be physical and rough. And Spence, to Lennox's point, because he's the original one that made it. The guy's retina got detached, supposedly, with headgear on. So what happens if you take the headgear off and you hit him with all you got? What happens?
We see the avatar.
By the way, Ray, I just checked the WBA rankings.
I think Spence got special preference. He's protected. I think Spence has been protected. I don't think he's all that. Well, the Americans brought him out to say, what you are. I don't think he is, bro. He built Cal Brook at the end of his career, and that's what he's living off. He's lived off Cal Brook, bro, and that is the truth. But I don't think he's all that. Why is he not fought Crawford? Come on, bro.
I think it's possible that I certainly think it's possible that the WBC is holding out on ordering a man. I definitely think that because they don't hide the shit that they do. They really don't. The IBF is a little trickier.
Disgusting. I can't
they are, but at least we know where we are with those cocksuckers.
They probably not going to order mandatory for like 3 years. Who knows?
Exactly. Like, bro, when the last time a WBC mandatory got satisfied? When? It's been like
some years, bro.
I'm sorry, they need to go. They need to go. I really would like them to go.
And what I think is crazy is that the Alphabet Commission, like, yes, the WBA made a lot of belts, right? They did. But so did the WBC. Why did the Alphabet Commission, why they didn't put the squeeze on them too?
Why they not put the squeeze on everybody, dog?
No, because listen, they don't have to put the squeeze on the IBF because they don't make a bunch of belts. Neither does the WBO.
Do you really think Spence is as good as everyone's making out he is? And that's the honest truth. I'm just asking
I've never thought that.
I know you never said it. I know you've never said it. I know that, Drew.
At one point in time,
I've said. Like, I'll say this. Look, if you go on any video of from 2018 and onward, because I like the kid when he fought Spence. I like the kid when he fought Brook. You know, I thought like, yeah, he's gonna go over there, he's gonna win that title, and that's all well and good. It was in 2018 that I had a shift. That I'm like, he all right. Like, y'all want him to be something. Crawford is what y'all want him to be. Yeah, he is that. He's a multi-weight champion who's still knocking motherfuckers out in his third division. Spence just fought a fucking fat lightweight and hit him 300 times and couldn't knock him down.
Love Crawford over here, Drew. We all know what Crawford is, and we love him over here. We love Crawford.
To me, look. This is a hot take.
They're saying Spence is something special. When I don't see it, I don't see special. I see Crawford is special, but I don't see Spence as special.
I said this before Sergey became quasi-retired, and a lot of people they laughed when I made this correlation. Errol is just another Kovalev. alcoholic with a good jab. The only difference between you and him is you're a southpaw and he's an orthodox fighter. You guys come from a decent amateur background, of both of you. Neither one of you has any kind of discipline. You're an alcoholic. He's an alcoholic.
I
They're
think
the same.
Sergey Kovalev. I think Kovalev was a little bit more disciplined, and I think Kovalev altogether was a better fighter than Errol Spence in his prime.
I agree with you.
Let's not do that.
No, wait a minute. Wait. I will say Kovalev has a better resume. He had a better reign as a champion. All those things.
And he was a murderer. Let's not get it fucked up.
He was a murderer like me.
I'm gonna say this. Even though I know Adonis Stevenson.
I believe it.
Kovalev would have knocked Adonis out if they fought. What do y'all think?
Nah, because
I don't believe that.
No. Wait a minute. We can't do that. Adonis used to fight people, and I'm not gonna lose sight of that. Adonis used to fight people, and it depends on what Adonis we're talking about. Before Yvonne Michelle climbed into bed with the PBC, that Adonis, 50-50 fight that Adonis. But the Adonis that fought this guy, man, he fought him for a second time, and there wasn't even no reason to do that. God, I forgot.
Darnell Boone?
No. He fought him two times. What's this guy's name, man? The white guy.
The guy who beat
Andres from
Charles Jr.
Andres from Farah.
Yeah.
That Adonis, and the Adonis that fought Badu Jack. If we're talking about that Adonis, okay, that Adonis would have lost to Kovalev. It depends on when you're talking about, because Adonis used to fight people, but when Yvonne Michelle, who was his base promoter in Canada, who doing that?
I am not.
When Yvonne Michelle went with the PBC, that's when he stopped fighting people.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this though. Badu Jack is the reason why Adonis Stevenson isn't the way he is right now, because I watched that fight. Badu put a hurting on him so bad that, like, once Vodcek touched Adonis Stevenson, I knew it was gonna be like, real bad, because that was a bad fight. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, he should have retired after the Badu Jack fight, but my Haitian brother had he's a warrior, my man. So he was gonna defend this title. I'm not gonna lie to you, but he should have.
You hear what he said? You hear what he said? That just spoke to my point, and that's not like Jules. You know me long enough to know it's not a new point. It's not something I'm just saying now. Man's been saying this for years. Those wars take more, and you see other thing. Yeah, some of these men have these wars in the gyms that we don't even get to see. That's my one thing that I do not like about the Philly system. Yeah, I've just been shooting before I left the country. I was shooting in Philly for, the Boots thing and a few. And fam, these men leave their souls in the gym. I would love to know the number of men in Philly that could have been all-time greats, but sparred too much and left too much in the gym. Like, these men really live. So just like men that leave something and never get it back in a fight. The problem with the Philly style, for all its greatness, is them men leave the way they spar. Them men leave too much of themselves in the gym that sometimes you see a man, like I've been in short camps with Philly fighters I thought would win fights, and seen a sparring session and like, nah, that man's he's not gonna have it at the fight, because you see a man walk out of sparring.
I'm gonna say it because you probably can't. I think that's what happened to Julian Williams.
Yes.
Stu, let me answer. Lennox, let me tell you, right? I grew up in the UK, right, bruv? And I grew up and I started boxing 8 years of age, right? 10 years of age, me and my best mate, Barry Jones, I was a better boxer than him. I beat him many a time, growing up, amateurs, grew him up. But he went on, because he was dedicated. He had his dad there, and like the dedication it takes to be a professional boxer is a different level. I went off smoking weed, doing my thing with the girls and all that. Thought I could come back and still do it. The guy went on to be world champion, and I know what it takes to be a world champion. It's a different level to what anyone thinks. You can fight, you can do whatever, but it's a level to get to that world championship. And I agree with you, Len. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. That's my point, bro.
I also believe because the Mayweather gym is famous for the hard sparring, the doghouse sparring, and you cutting careers short doing that. Like, bro, you supposed to do all that under the hot lights for the bag. You ain't supposed to be doing that shit.
Don't they do that for like 30 minutes straight?
That shit is
Yeah.
wild.
Can
But you
I
gotta
tell you
understand
something? Yeah.
this.
Let me just make a quick point.
You go first.
You see the resurgence. You see the resurgence of the Eastern Europeans and the guys that come from the style that takes. And yes, I know Jules is gonna get on me about Cuban this thing, but you know the Eastern Europeans, because of the Russian thing, the communist thing. Yeah. Anyway, these men do technical spars. These men do not go out there and take up. So that's why you see these men have these longevity in the career, and they focus on technique and technical. It's like not all out war. Like they don't train hard. Yeah, and you know what I mean. What I see in the Philly and some of the Mexican gyms too in California, because them man don't talk about some of them Mexican and Latin gyms in California. They sort of have the same credence. Like bloody Robert Garcia. That's why every time I'm like, fam, this man does not train boxers. Because all his men, as soon as they see someone with a bit of movement, it's a wrap. But these men put so much out in the gym, and I'm like, fam, you know what? Like, if you're a fighter, you're a fighter. I've done it. It takes a lot to get in there. You don't have to practice getting beat to an inch of your life to know that you could do this. It doesn't improve things. And that's why, if you look at the pros, that's why you see that's really why the Eastern European men and a lot of the European men now are top fighters, because them men have more left when they get into the bright lights than a lot of these men who are going through these wars in gyms.
I'm gonna say
you
this.
know,
I think that that's what Roy was talking about. Roy, they did an interview with Roy, and Roy said that like a lot of these guys, they get out there and they haven't actually worked on the fundamentals, how to throw a proper jab, how to properly slip, all this, all the stuff, the nuts and bolts. He said that, and I'm thinking like, yo, you know what he's probably talking about? A lot of these cats are going there and get into a war, hard sparring, for lack of a better word, and think that that's going to make them a better fighter. And it don't, because you're not working on what you actually need to work on. And it ain't that. You're not practicing getting into a war. You're supposed to be practicing to get good enough that you don't get into a war, that you can control the situation. And in the Mayweather gym, I remember for the last 4 years, you would hear about the hard sparring. You would hear that like they got all these gym wars and shit. And it's like, bro, you ain't supposed to be getting into fucking wars in the gym. I mean, that's not supposed to be happening. Somebody got an echo.
Like here, I'll make an example. Yeah, I've seen, I've been around high levels of boxing all across the globe. I've seen high level pros, yeah, have a spar 6 rounds where the coach was not allowing a man to throw anything but the jab. He was told to spar 6 rounds, just the lead hand. It was not, and every time he threw another hand, he had press ups to do. So the coach was keeping track of whenever he was like, he didn't tie his hand up or anything. All you get to throw, your opponent gets to this thing, right? Target the body of this thing. But all this man was allowed to do was use his feet and the jab. 6 rounds. Every time he threw a right hand or hook, jab to the body, jab to the head, vary the jab, up jab, whatever. But all he was allowed to do in the spar for the first 6 rounds was a jab, right? And if every time he threw the right hand or hook, they would keep him count. He would do press ups. So at the end of it, he had to do about 150 press ups for every time he used the other hand.
And if anything, that makes it but that makes him stronger. Why? If you don't do the drill right, you still gonna get something out the goddamn drill, regardless. You're still gonna get something out of it.
I've seen stuff like that. I've seen stuff like that. When the guy's too good for other people, that's what he does to him. It's like, listen, because it's not going to teach him if he just goes in and beats someone up. He's getting someone to come and attack him and do what you got to do, and you got to do what the coach is telling you because you're too good for the guy you're sparring. And like, that's
well,
it.
yeah. You see what? That's the other thing I notice in a lot of gyms I've been to now is that I see pros go in there and beat up amateurs, and like someone that you're supposed to move around with and help them get better or help you get better on defense. I've seen pros put beatings on Golden Glove kids, and I'm like, rah.
I've seen that.
What's this doing for either one of you? This doesn't do anything for either one of you. When I see them man get beat, when I see that same pro, not going to give out names, but I've seen that same pro that did that nonsense get sparked out in the Barclays, I was happy. You know, I was like, "Wow, I love it." It's a short night because it's like, for my, it's funny. I'm not a man that likes knockouts. Yeah, not like a lot of knockouts, but sometimes there are fights where I'm like, "Rah, if there's no knockouts, I'm gonna be in this arena till 3 a.m." So I'm just like, but everyone gets knocked out. Everyone gets knocked out. I'm home by midnight. You get me? so I remember this one lad.
And you a Lara guy, and you're a Lara guy.
If they went back to the old days where it was fucking 12 by 12 by 12, and you have to learn how to do defense in a small ring as opposed to being able to. That Cuban school wouldn't work in a small ring.
Laughing at that shit.
Damn, you good, Ring?
I damn near choked on my coffee.
At least Larry ain't as bad as fucking Freak Sanchez.
Oh shit!
Can you imagine Rigo? Can you imagine Rigo and Casemiro staging that fight in the 20s? Oh, they wouldn't have made it out that. They wouldn't have made it out alive.
No. I mean, look. When it comes to Rigo, and I said this, and I noticed it in the Julio Ceja fight and the Laborio Solis fight. Rigo used to have in and out that he could get in, do some shit, and get out. He didn't have it in those fights. So either he's in and he's getting hit, or he's so far out that he's not fighting, which was the Solis fight. They're like, bro, you way out there. This is not a fight. You way out there. When you was in, you couldn't get in and out, so you ended up getting hit a lot by Julio Ceja, and you don't really need to be getting hit like that at your age. So you get out with Solis, and you stay out, and you're so far out, well, you ain't fucking fighting no more, bro. You just circling away.
That fight I didn't see. Did he actually run like he did?
It was just like
with Casemiro.
Exactly like the Casemiro, except there was a knockdown. There was actually Rigo scored a knockdown in that fight. But that's what it is for me. To like, you don't have a choice anymore. You used to be sharp enough, and your reflexes was good enough that you could get in, do your shit, and then get out, and then get on your bike. Now you don't have that luxury of getting in and out real quick. You either all the way in, getting hit, or you all the way out, and it's not a fight. And look,
just retire.
He may be doing his Charlie Chaplin impression.
Look, I even
You
saw
remember when
the
Laborio
last.
Solis got robbed by Jamie McDonald? The first fight? And Jamie McDonald, I remember on IFL TV, like I wanted to grab him through my phone screen and wring his neck. He said, I think I won that fight by 5 rounds.
Didn't know he knocked him out in a round?
That's what I'm saying. Karma got him because when he knew he caught his ass, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. Like,
woo, he blew him away like a turd in the wind.
He fucking smoked him. Lennox, I want to ask you this, bro. Now that you're here, and I want to ask Evelyn this shit too. Be real with me, guys. Just don't fucking lie to me, all right? Don't play with me. Lennox, does Tommy Fury win this fucking fight? Don't play with me, Lennox.
There we go. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Don't fucking play with me,
Lennox.
Be real with me.
Please
no,
down.
Because honestly, I say my answer to this is no. And if you put 2 and 2 together, you'll understand. Yeah, because Tom, you get me. Jake would have never signed the fight if he didn't have a 99% chance of winning.
I got you.
Business, you get me.
I got you.
Are you implying that there's a side deal going on with this? That we're going to get a draw?
No, not implying it's a side deal. No. It's not a side deal. Let me be very clear. Let me be very clear. Hang on. Hang on. Let me be very clear. The team around Jake and everyone at Showtime fully knows Tommy Fury is not that good and not a threat. Is that clear enough?
All right. Leighton, don't bullshit me.
Right. I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'll tell you straight up. Every time Tommy Fury fights, our garbage don't get collected because he's beat up a garbage collector, right? I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest with you, right? No, listen. He's a gypsy, right? And you're brought up as a gypsy, young son. You're fighting, right? He's got a fighting gene in him. Fury wins, bro. Fury wins. It's not by knockouts, but Fury wins. Because Jake Paul is not a fighter. Sorry, bro.
Bro,
He's not a fighter.
Leighton,
I mean?
I got this fucking feeling, and it kind of goes back to what Lennox said, and just think. I mean, there's things that are out there that we've been hearing. There are things that are out there, but it's like, yo, dog. Like, I saw Fury's last 2 fights, right? He didn't beat that redheaded guy, man. On that BT Sport card, he didn't beat that guy. Like, no, you lost that fight, bro. And if your last name wasn't Fury, you would have had your first loss in the column. He goes in there with that other guy on the undercard of Jake Paul's fight. This guy hasn't boxed in like 5 fucking years. And you didn't smoke him.
I agree, Jew. I agree.
I honestly, it's not that Jake is good. It's that Tommy is like, if you was getting knockouts or looking like a blue chip prospect or just anything, but you not looking like you looking like Jake. You looking like Jake.
Exactly. You know what? It's the first 50-50 fight. Both of them might have
Jules,
been in.
are you buying the fight?
Fuck no.
Wait, I want to say this. Everyone's talk about Jake Paul not being a real boxer, and I will agree, but there is something that nobody could take away from Jake Paul, that this guy at least looks dedicated to the sport. Tommy Fury doesn't.
Brother, these boxers now ain't real boxers with their fucking schedule. They can go fuck themselves.
Look, I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna say this. The last 2 fights, I actually was advocating for this fight, so I don't want to be a hypocrite. I was advocating for this fight, but the last 2 Fury fights that I've seen, they're not encouraging, you know. And the truth is that Jake Paul's quality of competition, you know, a YouTuber, a basketball player, an MMA guy, 2 MMA guys actually. It's not that dissimilar from what, you know, the quote unquote professionals, because remember, Cedric Paynout was a kickboxer that crossed over into boxing. Nikal Hoskin.
But he can fight though.
No, but he can fight.
Cedric Paynout can fight.
But Tyrone Woodley could fight. I wouldn't want to deal with him at a bar. Like, I don't want to deal with that guy. Like, fuck out of here. Ben Askren, he gonna try
But
to.
Jew, is there a knockout clause? Is there a knockout clause, bro? That's a rumor.
I can't tell you that. I know that there's a rumor, but I can't give you no insight into that. Only the lawyers know what's in the contract. I ain't see the fucking contract. So I don't know. If that's true, then this is sports entertainment. This is WWE. And I don't put it past Stephen Espinoza because he needs the ratings.
Yeah,
I don't
remember if it's that, it's just like when we had their little fight nights. Remember back in like the late 90s.
I mean, look. If you're Stephen Espinoza, the PBC left you in a position by going with Fox to where they took fighters like Spence, they took Charlo, and remember the Charlo doubleheader, the first one that was on Fox. They took a lot of guys that used to give you ratings, and they put them on Fox. So, you know, you don't even have the same kind of content that you had. Look at what they're left with. Fights like Casemiro versus Regandiao. I enjoyed Donaire versus Ubali, but we see what the numbers were. The numbers wasn't nothing special. You know, in terms of pay-per-views, all you really have is I should say, because they have the Canelo fight, but given what they're spending for the fight, it's like, Jesus Christ, dog. Like, how do you plan on getting this back? Right? It's problematic.
And
So
don't forget, look at their Bellator ratings too, or they're in the trash.
It's all in the all of it. It's all bad. So if you think about it, it's like, could you put it past Showtime to invest in a YouTube influencer that has millions, not a million, millions of followers all over social media, all over the place, right? Could you really put it past them that they would orchestrate situations for him? No, I wouldn't put it past them. This isn't. The entertainment business is dirty as shit. It's a dick hair away from selling coke. You know what I mean? These are the people you're selling coke to.
We had Wilder versus Malik Scott. I mean, even boxing has sports entertainment moments.
Exactly.
Wilder versus Malik Scott was not the only Wilder fight that was, you know.
I was having a debate on Twitter today with some people. They were saying that Wilder definitely hits harder than Vladimir, and I was like, I don't know about that, bruh. A lot of the knockouts early were against fat cruiserweights, and like a lot of the knockouts were not even like one punch. Like everybody fell in love with the Brazil and the Ortiz knockout. Nobody has seen his
Oi,
early
listen.
knockouts. I guarantee it.
Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little known fact that does not get brought up. Shannon Briggs has more first-round knockouts than Wilder, but Wilder's supposed to be the biggest puncher in history. Shannon Briggs has more first-round knockouts than Wilder.
A lot of Wilder's knockouts weren't even one punch early in his career,
D- d-
especially.
and Shannon Browns wouldn't let Eric Molina rock him.
And Shannon, no, the other thing is this. Look. Wilder is often separated from the Klitschko era, and I hate that people do this because for me it shows how stupid Americans are.
He was around the whole time.
Wilder debuted as a professional in 2008. He was there for most of the Vladimir Klitschko era.
Can I say the two things? Can I say the two things that I've said for what 3 or whatever years I've been on your channel? Yeah, two things. Yeah, I start out with a man getting sparked out with headgear. That means there's something going with your chin. So we've seen Wilder get sparked out in the Amis with headgear. We've also not seen, but we've heard rumors, well, which you probably considered fact, the way everyone in that camp was going after him, that he got cold slapped by Klitschko in sparring with headgear.
That's why White is gunning for him. He knows.
Well,
if he
James,
catches him, he knows
look,
exactly what's gonna happen.
If you can't believe it from White, I can accept that because you know that White wants him. But James Ali Bashir is saying the same thing. So let's be real. Like, too many people seen it.
He said yes.
And this is my thing, and it's not a Wilder hate thing because I keep the same energy around everyone. When I bring it up, I pointed out with Tony Yoka, said when you get slapped with full protective gear on and 16-ounce amateur gloves, I can't trust you.
I mean, I don't look.
Cold slap.
Look.
Yes.
Americans. All these sentiments that you hear about Wilder, that he's the biggest puncher, that he's a warrior. These are Americans that have what I equate to penis envy. They see all the good heavyweights are coming from every other fucking part of the world except here. All we've had the last 20 years, right, as far as heavyweights, is Calvin Brock, Chris Bird, Deontay Wilder, and Dominic Breazeale. Now we got hope with Jared Anderson. I got a lot of high hopes for that kid. But the only reason they're propping him up is because he was all
that's
he had.
honesty, bro.
That was all he had.
Yo, I remember
honesty.
I was on Montero's his show one time, and he was talking about how people look at Wilder, how like they need something to look at, like in the heavyweight division, like how they had Mike. Mike was that guy, and Montero, he was like, I called it the 6-pack syndrome. Like the regular
and
American
then the rest
people
of the
that
panel,
drink and shit, and they're like,
what fight
they're
are you guys
clinging
looking
for
forward to
an
most
American
this weekend?
hope, basically.
I'm gonna say this. In terms of the all-time great punchers, quality of competition still matters to me. You're not an all-time great puncher for knocking off stiffs. That's not how I do it. Foreman is an all-time great puncher.
Absolutely.
Shavers, Tyson, Liston, Lewis, Wilder,
Julian Jackson.
Wilder's not a part of that conversation, and I'm like, you wilding, bro.
And people show me
you too. Even if right. Even if Michael Spinks decided to lay down, right? Because a lot of people say that Spinks could have got up but chose not to. Yeah, because of how hard this motherfucker hits.
He hit him with a fucking one body shot. And he took a knee instantly, and it was early.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, even if there was a fear factor, right? I don't dismiss that there was a fear factor. Yeah, the guy decided to stay down. What? Because he doesn't want to get
it even more though. That his power is that devastating. That the dude said, "Nah, I'm good." That just proves it even more.
Right now, I hate when people and Rick Glacier does this, and I don't got nothing against nobody, but Rick Glacier does this. He likes to berate Mike a lot, and I'm like, you fucking wish for all the shit you talk about the postmodern fighters, right? That we talk shit about, right? You fucking wish we would be blessed to have a fighter like Mike Tyson in this era because he fought everyone. He didn't always win, but he fought everyone. And it was a goddamn spectacle. Ear biting, press conference melees.
And that's what's important.
So true. No, let me say something, right? Everyone says British level, shit. I'm 45, right, bro? So I grew up adoring America. America had the best boxers. But right now, you have knockout heavyweights that can fight with us. You go to the Olympics. Britain wins more fucking Olympic gold medals than you lot. And we could fit in Texas 3 times. Come on, bruv. You've got to give us our respect, like. Do you know what I mean? And I grew up adoring America. America is what I used to always think. America is where the boxers are, where they are. But listen, we're smaller than you on average. Average high size for a man is 5'8". Over there, it's 5'10". Come on, bruv. How are we winning heavyweight shit? How? Because your shit is not right.
Can I make a point? I'm going to make a quick point right now.
Let me read the super chats because they're piling up. I got like 3 right here. Jimmy Wilder of the United Kingdom has more knockouts than Wilder and Mike Tyson combined and never lost a round, and he was only 100 pounds. Shout out to D-Style. Appreciate you, bro. Follow Hispanics Causing Panic here on YouTube. Archie Moore has 132 knockouts on his record. 132, motherfuckers. Learn your history. 132, you know what I mean? And we sitting here talking about Wilder. It's like
Sugar Ray got like 109, no?
And the only reason they put Wilder on this pedestal is because these people are lazy.
They're clamoring for somebody to connect to.
Hey, let me just ask a question. How many people know that the IBA World Championships are going on right now?
I mean, I know, but I don't think a lot of other people know that the IBA Championships are happening.
Yeah, and how many people know? Are you aware of what the American representation in the IBA World Championships?
Nah.
There's no one at heavyweight.
There you go.
Is that a first time?
There's not that many people. There's no one at.
There you go.
No. It's been the norm.
That's shocking. From the best country in the world, the biggest country in the world, that produces the best. They're not producing the best anymore, bro. That's all I'm saying,
because the big men in this country, and I've been, and I'm not the only one that's been saying it. Plenty of people say the big.
No, let's not narrow it down to the big men. All around in terms of amateur or world level boxing, all around the U.S., around all weight classes, not represented. Like, fam, I am going. Where I'm in Europe. I'm in Europe/Asia now. I'm going to Azerbaijan. I'm going to the IBAs. I'm going to see fights at the IBAs because I couldn't pass up an opportunity to see Andy Cruz fight in person. But that's me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I wouldn't say I'm a degenerate. I'm a lover of the sweet side. So you know what I mean?
You're a degenerate boxing lover. We all are. It's okay.
Yo, Riddick Bowe knocked out way better guys at Wilder. I almost forgot, yo.
Yes, he did.
But listen, it's insane.
There's so many.
Let me monologue this shit real quick. You have people that separate Wilder from the Klitschko era, even though he's literally part of that era. So when you shit on that era and say that was a weak era, you're literally talking about Wilder because he's a part of that era. He debuted in 2008.
He just wasn't doing shit, as what people don't know.
And they don't want to.
He won his belt while Klitschko had the belt.
He could have unified that era.
He said, "I need 10 million to step aside," when he hadn't even made $1 million yet.
Insanity!
He never even touched $1 million, and he needs 10.
Ring. Question: how many times has Wilder literally stalled Undisputed from happening?
By my count,
7.
If we count every individual instance with Anthony Joshua plus the Klitschko stuff, it's the Klitschko stuff, the 12, the 20. No, it's the Klitschko, the 2.5,
12,
the
12.5,
15, the 20, the 100 mil, right? And then with the Fury shit, the 120. Then with the Fury shit, that's another 2 times. Really, that's another 3 times. So I'd say 8.
Wait,
this man, he never wanted to be in one face, one name. That was all bullshit.
Yeah,
Julius,
bullshit.
I wanted to ask because there's so much shit that went around with the Wilder AJ stuff that I kind of had lost track. But what was the shit that was going on when people keep posting videos saying like, oh, AJ asked for 50 million and then they offered him it and he turned it down? I'm like,
that's the moot point. That's the moot point because last year
it wasn't a real offer though.
Because last year, what did Wilder put on Twitter?
No. It's all right. But let me champ this shit. This is the thing. The offer that Wilder and Stefan Espinoza tried to muddy up the lines, but it's simple. It's simple. When it's all said and done, Frank Warren, his motherfucking self, on Boxing Social, got on camera and said that the 100 million was the 50 million.
No, 50.
50. The 50 was supposed like fucking BT Sport in Queensbury got $50 million for Anthony Joshua.
Which they know
Now,
Joshua
wait,
can't fight on. Joshua
No,
can't fight on.
no, wait. That's what I'm alluding to. That even if you had 50, not that I know that you didn't have it because Lennox told me their books are open. You can see what they have. You can see where they are. You know what I mean? Whether they owe money, whether they in the red or they back in the black, right? So, Bum, even if you had 50, AJ is under contract exclusively with Sky. So if your offer is coming from a network he can't fight on, and even if Finkel didn't know that, Warren knows that.
Wait, they had Frank Warren send the offer, not like Heyman or...
Frank Warren is the one on Boxing Social who said, me and Shelly had several conversations about that, and the fact of the matter is,
they wanted Joshua to sign the line, so he was fucked. He was committed, no matter what. They gave away all his rights. It all went to the PBC. PBC would have turned around then, and Joshua would have been paying out 50 mil. So how was he making money? Come on, bro.
Yeah, plus that would have been a breach of contract, would it not?
Yes.
That he went to BT.
Look, exactly. If you sign an exclusivity deal, it's in the name. Right. Exclusivity. I fight
exclusiveness.
Here. Exclusive, like a pair of Parasucos in '96. I fight here. I don't fight over there. If I go over there, I'm in breach of contract with them, then I'm gonna owe them money. So my fucking 50 will fuck around and turn into 10. If I fuck with y'all, it don't make no sense. That's why, look, it was a bluff. All it was a bluff. And there's still people that they don't want to believe. Hey, I don't give a fuck what you believe.
Yep.
Frank Warren is saying
like, oh, Joshua wouldn't take 50 million. Dude, it's like idiot. That what is
well, beyond that, I don't understand. I don't understand how that's a conversation when this man himself got on Twitter last year and said, I turned down more money to fight Anthony Joshua.
Yo, people will respond.
Lennox,
no one said anything.
That just said it all.
No one
said
a damn thing.
That said it all right there. Everybody just seems to forget about that. That he actually came on Twitter and said, "Oh yeah, I accepted less the money to. I could have got more."
You know what really gets lost in the sauce? Nobody say nothing. After the first Fury fight, right? They didn't fight right away. We all know that. Fury went to Top Rank, which delayed the rematch. In that pocket between the first Wilder fight and Jarrell Miller getting popped, who gets offered 60-40, 20 mil, about 15 million up front, 60-40 split, the fight at Wembley in April. Transatlantic two-way rematch clause. One in America, one in the United Kingdom. Wilder. Who turned it down? Wilder.
Didn't Al Heyman say that's Floyd Mayweather training camp money or some bullshit?
That was after that. That was after. That was after.
Now we got
he's a fucking fraud. Look, you want my honest opinion? The best offer that they gave Wilder was not the 100 million. It was the Sky offer to 60-40 split of the pay-per-view. That pay-per-view would have did monstrous numbers. Monstrous. You chose not to take it.
This shit should be illegal for somebody like, I don't know why fighters sign with Heyman and he just it's counterproductive, dog.
It is. Listen, this is the kicker. It is illegal. You have a fiduciary. Look, if I'm your manager, I literally have a fiduciary in this country. Forget about any other country. In this country, let's say I'm your manager or I'm your manager, right?
You have the fiduciary duty to be in the best interest of your client.
And if the fiduciary and if let's say, right? You know, you normally fight on Fox or you normally fight on Showtime, but you don't have an exclusivity deal with Showtime, right? If somebody at NBC or CBS or ABC, if they offering you some big money, it is illegal for me to not let you get that money. I have a fiduciary.
Al Heyman got some shit on them. I think Al Heyman got some shit on them.
Can I just make a point real quick? Yeah.
Brainwashing going on over there.
Wait. We don't forget.
Hang on. Give me 2 seconds, yeah?
Hold on.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Rudy Vela got fired for doing his fucking work.
Yeah.
Yep, he did. They gave him the X. They gave him the X. Yes, sir.
All right.
Banish him from the island.
All right, let me just make a quick example here. All right, can you man hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I can hear you.
Yeah, let me just make a quick example. Let me show you a fighter who actually has lawyers. Montana Love was on Showtime. Yeah, he was offered a PBC deal. Right? They tried to get Montana on PBC. Montana Love did not want to fight on PBC. Montana Love chased down a matchroom contract. These are facts. You don't believe me? Look it up. He chased down a matchroom contract. So that's really all I got to say.
No,
because he
is a black
understood what it was.
Credit to him.
Yeah.
Because this is not look, but there's money out there for all these fighters, right? There's really more money out there, not as strange as it might sound, because boxing isn't at the forefront of the sporting world in America anymore, but there is money out there for these fighters. And the days of the 80s and Don King and just all that's over with, bro, right? There's money out there for you. There's opportunities out there for you. And I said this in 2017 at the height of this argument and 2018, all right? If Showtime didn't care enough about Wilder to give him a big cash guarantee and an exclusivity deal, right? If they didn't care enough,
which they offered Anthony Joshua,
what does that tell you? What does that tell? Like, yo, you don't have a deal. Floyd had an exclusivity deal. Floyd got a big cash guarantee from that same Showtime. Wilder never had a deal like that. So why the fuck you can't go over to Sky? Why the fuck you can't go over to the Zone? Showtime didn't give you that.
Wasn't he
to add to your point?
Okay.
To add to your point, they offered AJ an exclusivity deal, and they bid on an AJ fight. They went into a bidding war for an AJ fight.
And AJ fought on Showtime a couple of times too.
That's because they went into a bidding war for the fight. They shared the rights with HBO. They went into a bidding war, and they ended up sharing rights with HBO for a couple of AJ fights. These times.
I want to say this.
Yeah.
Look, I feel privileged to be part of these conversations as a guy who enjoys boxing. About the politics, about the flux of money, all of that is something I can know now, because guys like Julius, like guys like Boxing Beats and Rhymes, guys like Unrival, Mark, I can assume that most of the boxers that are training, they are fighting, don't know all of this shit. But the people who has to know, because it's their job, is the managers. If the managers don't have the knowledge, or they blind their fighters about their knowledge, for me, they are the real guilty.
Luis Ortiz. That's all I have to say. Luis Ortiz. Perfect example.
Can we go down the line?
They screwed him over bad.
Yeah.
No, but can we go down the line and think about all the mandem now that have going to be crying because they never made life-changing money because of this? Luis Ortiz, Kevnotsky,
Keith Thurman,
fucking Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's never going to see 100 million.
No, but look. No, all right. This is what I'm going to say. Listen. So what I'm going to say about Wilder. You're right. He's never going to see 100 million. It's that dream is dead. That dream is dead. However, Wilder, he did make $30 million last year, right? He did.
Yeah.
I think that this pay-per-view, unlike the pay-per-view last year, I actually think this one was in the plus, because the operational costs for the pay-per-view were a lot less than they were last year. So he's probably in the plus too. Maybe he made around 10 to 15 mil. Maybe he cleared that, right? So he made very good money. But outside of Wilder, Kobnowski, Ortiz, Thurman, Garcia, you guys have been making $1 million at a time, and we know that you don't go home with $1 million. Like, we know that. If you give Danny 1.5 or 1.2 for a Granados fight, for example, he doesn't go home with 1.2. No, he's got people he's got to pay. All right. So you never built these guys into superstars to where they can clear
the back end.
Yeah, back end. So bullshit.
Because ring. I mean, because I don't know if you see. Remember, I think Michael Moore did a recent video last year. He stated like all the earnings you give to you pretty much you give to your team. He's saying like you made like already half your money's gone, because that goes to your managers, your promoters, the sanctioning bodies, they want their cut, and you get taxed on this. On top of that, I think he was left with 30% of his earnings.
Yeah. It's not like none of
So
this.
And you gotta save that too.
I mean, because if Danny gets like 1.5, how much of that is he actually keeping?
Well,
probably 650.
No, I would say around 500,000. I would say that.
Yep.
500. If he's lucky, I would say 500,000. And if he's smart, which I'll give this to Danny, I'll get because he seems to be doing okay. I think he invested
anyone
in
who buys property.
Anybody who buys property, like Tevin Farmer did that. He flips houses.
The thing over here in the UK is if you're in $1 million, it's 40%. It's 40% over here. So maybe because it's pounds and dollars, you might be better off in America. You might be. I don't know.
No, because I'll tell you what. See, with Wilder, what you have to look at that is a little bit bizarre. You have JD's as a trainer and a manager. Then you have Shelly Finkel as a manager. I don't know what the fuck Al Heyman gets from the guy, but I'm gonna
I went to Box Rec. His managers are listed: Al Heyman, Shelly Finkel, JD's. Why the hell do you need 3 fucking managers?
You need 3 managers? That's 3 people you have to pay.
But over
to
here,
tell you to turn down 120 million.
You have like a write-off because you're gonna have expenses. So
has anyone ever tried to sue Heyman?
Taxes, but then I claim back all my expenses. So I'm paying my trainer, my nutrition, my whatever. I claim that all back. So you can take my 40% back down to 10%. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's different ways. You claim
it might be, but what I'm getting at is, okay, boxers have a short shelf life. You don't want to be boxing at age 40. Let's just say that, unless you're just really good and you never lose and you know, like super duper ideal, video game ideal, right?
Listen, no man wants to be fighting at 40. No man.
That's what I'm getting at. You have a short window of opportunity to make as much money as you possibly can. Now, Adam Kovnowski is one of the more glaring, I should say, examples of how someone was fucked up. You know, you go over there and AJ knocks you out, and he would have knocked him out. You know,
beat on him
yeah. When he's, you know, because he's wrong.
Because he's wrong.
Right? He's not strong.
Right? He would have lost. But he would have got life-altering money to lose, as opposed.
He might have had a life-altering beating too.
Yeah.
Could have done it.
Hey, but ain't no shame in that. Ain't no shame in that. Ain't no shame in losing to Joshua.
$7 million. He was offered $7 million for the Ruiz fight, and he turned it fucking down.
Now, remember that he made about 100,000, I believe it was, in the Chris Areola fight that he ended up having, and I think he made another 100,000 in the Robert Helenius fight, and that is why it is one of the more glaring examples that you guys are literally fucking these guys out of money. You are.
Yo,
how much
Robert
you make for the rematch? How much you make for the rematch? 50K.
I mean, seriously, what did he make for the rematch?
Any same man would have took that $7 million. Any same man would have took that $7 million. No matter what, wouldn't lose. I get knocked off for $7 million.
Leighton, my man, Leighton.
Everyone forgets. Now, hold on. Everybody forgets that the initial excuse or the initial reason that was given for Adam Kovnowski having turned down that multi-million-dollar offer was that they already had a slot for him on FS1 against an opponent that had yet to be announced. And if you are performing your fiduciary duty to your fighter, you know damn good and well that the fight you have lined up for him is not a multi-million-dollar fight. So whatever that is, you call it off. Nah, I didn't call it off. It's more important that he fight Chris Areola on FS1.
Has anyone ever tried to sue Heyman? Like,
I think Heyman has something on these dudes because it makes no sense.
He might, man.
I think Heyman
he might have something.
He has to because it makes no fucking sense.
I mean, it's like remember, guys. You remember when Jamal? You remember when Eddie made offer to Jamal fight the offer for Jamal to fight Demetrius Andrade? He said, "Hey, hit me up, Eddie. Holler at me." When Eddie hit him up, offered him the fight. Then radio silence afterwards.
He said, how long? No, he said, bitch, call Al. bitch call out.
No. After he was silent, then he emerged talking all that crap and calling out Danny Jacobs, which was funny because if he saw Danny Jacobs, he would probably shit his pants. But
what I believe, listen. This is what's look, to wrap your minds around how it is that Heyman is pulling this off. It's not as complex as it sounds. The managers are working with Heyman, right? Heyman himself does not have it on paper, right? Himself probably. The paper trail is not there for you to be able to sue Heyman. He's working behind closed doors with their managers who are not acting on their fighters' behalf. Under normal circumstances, the manager is supposed to be the one that protects that fighter. But if the manager is working with the promoter for the promoter's best interest, right?
And they're just worried about the company.
Because the man,
he's reinvesting their wages. I think he's taking their wages and reinvesting it and say, we'll get more again. We'll get more on your wages. Give your wages back to me. Yeah. We'll reinvest it. We'll get more again. That's what I think he's doing, bro.
Yeah, that's a fucking Ponzi scheme, bro. That's a fucking Ponzi scheme.
Julius,
I mean, go ahead, Leo.
I have a question. Yeah, okay. Al Heyman is doing this thing. I can assume that he's doing this because he can. What prevents really guys like Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn to do the same?
The reason is that
because they're promoters. They have promoters licenses.
It's not just that. It's that Heyman's business model is not as lucrative, anywhere near as lucrative as people make it out to be. I mean, it's not. They know that. And the other thing is, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know about Eddie. I don't know about Eddie. Eddie seems like a nice guy to me. I don't know about him. I can't read him. Bob,
Demetrius always tells me he is. He looks out for his fighters.
Now let me just say this. You think all Bob's money comes from boxing? You're fucking wild, bro. You think Bob is making money just off of boxing?
Fuck no, he's in some shit.
He's in some shit.
Bob seems like an evil motherfucker. Why you think he treats people the way he is?
No, there's no good and bad in business. There's just business.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about business. I'm talking in just real life.
Bob is that guy in the mafia
no good and bad in real life.
He'll fuck you up.
Dude, explain with Broner. Explain with Broner on a pay-per-view, bro. Explain.
Broner is another glaring example of a Heyman fighter who's been offered multi-million-dollar offers more than once. He rejected, and he ended up making less in the end. Remember, Rock Nation offered him $40 million. He told Jay-Z to suck his dick. They offered Broner the Pacquiao fight before Pacquiao crossed over to the PBC. He didn't take it. They offered him more at Top Rank up front for the fight than what he got when it landed on. These are all facts. It's all there. It's all there, all right? What I believe they're doing, and Leighton brought it up, I think that they have these guys reinvest a portion of their purse back into the company to keep the money moving around and to keep the company afloat. That's what I think is going on.
Ponzi scheme. These motherfuckers are going to be so broke.
100%, son.
I got a question. So
it's wrong. It's wrong. I'm not going to lie. It's wrong. It's illegal and it's fucking wrong. But then when the guy's asking, Al, I lost my 1,500 weekly allowance, and he's not. Come on, bro. The guy's in jail.
Leighton. Can I talk? Leighton. You have to understand. Those people signed that contract, number one, and those people are under this hive mentality that this black man is going to do right by me, not knowing that he sees
that's
you just like how everybody else sees him.
Why do you think it was
somebody too?
Why do you think it was? If you look, hold on. If you go to Adrian Broner's Instagram account right now, it's under AB the Wave God. You'll see a text message, right? Don't read the text message. We'll read the text message, right? But read the caption under it, where Adrian Broner says, "I don't want to talk to you. Stop calling me. You're not going to finesse me." He's finessing these guys, bro. That's what's going on. He's talking them into doing that
just
stuff.
Take this amount. Don't fight him right now. Take this right now, and then later on we're going to do this. I swear to God, that's his conversation with his fighters. It has to be. And they're idiots.
But he has to have something over them. Because there's no fucking way he's talking to grown men like this.
No, he doesn't. Listen, y'all keep forgetting that up until recently, like I feel like things are coming apart at the seams now, but up until recently, he had the best sales pitch. You see what I did for Floyd? You see what I did for Floyd? You see, I have serious questions about Floyd Mayweather and what he actually has or what he actually got.
There's a reason why Danny Jacobs left.
That.
I mean, it's a reason why Artur better be left, and he said it.
He didn't even make Floyd. That's Bob.
Yeah, look, I think people want to say that Al Heyman is kind of a gangster or a guy of like a real like.
It's fucking weird because they don't know him.
Okay, it's like he's screwing up people. I think what he's doing is predatory.
He comes from the music industry. He was a music promoter, and he was one of those guys. He was one of the big wigs. He was like one of the Clarence Avants. He was on the Quincy Jones type of level, type shit.
Al Heyman is working for people, is searching for people that he can manipulate. Bob Arum, I think, he prioritizes more the real thing, the talent. And the talent comes with people that is behind you that going up with your best interest. But Al Heyman doesn't care about that.
I'll say this. Look, Bob Arum knows how to groom fighters, or the people at Top Rank, Bruce Trampler, Carl Moretti, all those guys. They know how to groom fighters. They know how to build fighters. Al Heyman does not. Al Heyman took fighters that someone else had, and that's been his stable ever since. Those were Golden Boy Promotions fighters. That's what they were. Wilder, Ortiz, all of those were Golden Boy Promotions fighters. All you did was take something that someone else had, and you did more or less the same thing with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was a top-ranked fighter. He only crossed over to your side of things at the tail end of his career. That's it. You didn't build him. You certainly didn't build Manny Pacquiao.
Because Al Heyman doesn't care about the substance. He doesn't. If he gets it, good, but he doesn't care really.
You have to look at what happened to his older brother, Bobby Heyman, though. Bobby doesn't look good health. He wasn't, healthy after boxing because he used to take horrible beatings. And I think Al Heyman has a deep resentment for the sport for what happened to his brother. That's what I think.
I think that I don't dismiss that, but I think that Bob is applying music industry principles to boxing, and that doesn't work because you can have bubblegum rap. Somebody got a echo. You could have bubblegum rap and bubblegum pop, and that'll work for a while before it fizzles out. Like Jewel. Jewel used to be a bluegrass singer, and then she turned into a pop star, and that shit just fizzled out. In boxing, when things fizzle out, people get hurt. People lose money, and that's why it doesn't work. You can't do that, all right? So if there's a lot of money on the table for a fighter, you need to let that fighter take that money, even if it is on another network. Your relationship with Fox or Showtime should not stop a fighter that they don't have under contract. Did Fox offer this fighter an exclusivity contract? No, they didn't. All right, then he should be able to leave and go somewhere else and make money somewhere else and then come back. Because y'all don't have him under contract, right?
Look. What serious promotional company deals with a guy like Rolly Romero?
None. You know damn good and well he's cannon fodder at Top Rank.
Yep. Obviously.
Cannon fodder. He's cannon fodder at Golden Boy. He's cannon fodder. Any world-class lightweight beats this guy. Any world-class lightweight.
I know one guy that could beat him.
It's going to be bad if he beats Tank.
Campbell Hatton could beat him. You think Campbell Hatton could beat him?
Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Like, come on. Like, what does that say about Tank, Eson? What does that say about Tank? If you lose to a Rolly Romero, not that they're gonna fight because they're not. They're not
because the case. Because the case.
Hey man, people say things, man. People say things, and I hear them. I hear those people.
You better make that Reggie choice soon.
Hey man, he better settle out of court. Get them girls what they want. He better dip into that bank account. Get them girls what they want because
But like,
I think he's too dumb. I think he's too retarded to do some shit like that. I think he's retarded.
Here's an example. I'm glad you brought this up, Jaguar. Shout out to Jaguar, and I'll read first. Let me read this super chat. Ortiz, Wilder, Miller ruined their Willy Wonka golden ticket for the highest payday of their life. Ortiz management failed him. Yes, they did. Wilder priced himself out, and Miller was on more stuff than a GNC store. That's true. Now, as far as Marinez, right? Here's an example. Marinez went in there with Rolly, and he beat him. We all know it. That same Marinez goes in there with Richard Comey.
They're almost fucking around. This guy gets killed.
And he gets fucking muted.
Comey damn near killed his ass.
Punched the shit out of him, B. And then he did a backflip at the punching the shit out of him.
Comey's like, oh, you think you're gonna try to run away from me, huh? Okay.
My God,
I like that. I love it.
My God. How you beat the shit out of him like that and you still had the energy to do a backflip, bro? That's crazy. You still had the energy to do you really beat the shit out of him.
He did a leg sweep, then a backflip.
Bro,
he punched. That last knockdown, he hit him with that right hand. He punched the shit out of him. I was like, damn.
And this is what I mean. And you see this, and it's like, well, they'll have a guy like Adonis Stevenson, and they'll buy him time, getting him, Fonfara's and fight, sequel, the rematch with Fonfara, right? Because that's the one that happened on PBC. And they'll buy the guy time, but once he's out there in population with everybody else. You see what happens. You see what happened to Wilder.
Almost fucking died, bro. Almost died.
What happened? Do you see what happened to Wilder? Right? You see what happened?
His career's over, bro.
You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, like, yo, that dude is a music dude, B. And you can have bubblegum music. You should not have bubblegum fighters. Nah, that's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's dangerous for them. And you costing them guys a lot of money that they could be making.
But those fighters have to take accountability on that too.
Well, their managers do actually, because they're the ones jerking them. On that note, I'm gonna end the live. I'm fucking sleepy. Y'all be easy.
Hey, Rockwell, you going to live for McGee Cameron tomorrow?
I might want to enjoy that with the sound on, because my girls is fighting. I gotta watch my girls. I gotta watch them.
I dig it. Appreciate your ring. All right.
I no problem.